Testing. Oh, wait. Oh, God. Hang on. That is very loud. Let's try 15. Testing, testing, testing. Hello? Can you guys hear me alright? How are we all doing? Are we good to go? We've got people already joining in the chat. Welcome. Very quickly, just trying to sort out a bunch of bits and bobs. Audio's being a bit strange. I don't know what's going on there, but we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second ever SORUK podcast. This is the 2024 season review. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different bits and bobs that has happened throughout the year, memorable moments, all sorts of other bits that have happened, and maybe even some plans for next year. We'll talk to you guys obviously in chat. And yeah, I think next year is going to be really good. We're looking forward to that. There will be a podcast at some point next week as well for... Wait, what day is it today? Monday. So we might do one later this week again, episode 3, but we're going to go over the fixtures in that next one. So for now, this is the 2024 review. I am joined by two people here tonight. We are joined by Riley and Josh, and we obviously will be talking about everything that's happened this year, all the meetings we've done. I think we've done over 50 odd, roughly, closer to 60, I think. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of headlines that happened this year. There was a lot of stuff, good and bad, but obviously we'll be mainly going over the good and talking about the meetings and moments and cars and drivers and all sorts of bits and bobs. So, with that said, I'm going to quickly... I think we're alright volume-wise, so... Wait, let me turn that up just a little bit more. Yeah, that should be fine. Right. Let's turn the music off, and let's go over to these guys.
Posting old school, like proper old school painted Mark II Granada estate, and it looks the bollocks.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
So, I've done my intro. 10 people in chat already. Welcome everybody to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Obviously, like I said, we're going to be talking about the 2024 season, everything that's happened. And with me is Riley and Josh. Say hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Afternoon or evening, wherever you are.
And yeah, we got 5 really main topics we're going to talk about, but obviously we will probably go on tangents as we always do because we are very invested in this sport. So we're going to first off... Well, the first topic at hand is memorable moments. But before we get into that, is there anything you guys want to say before we get into this?
Like what?
What exactly?
I don't know. I don't know if you have something to say, or I don't know.
It's been a good year.
Yeah, it's been a bloody good year.
Our best on the channel.
Mm.
That's pretty much it, really, isn't it?
Well, a lot of memorable moments. Obviously, a lot of miles have been covered.
James.
A few new tracks have been discovered by SORUK.
James.
Well, no, you as well.
Oh yeah, I did Aldershot.
Plenty of good weekenders as well. We've got a few weekenders to talk about. I know that.
Riley.
Yeah, I did one. You did like 3. All right, calm down.
Well, a lot of obviously new names for championships. A lot of new faces.
And Josh's personal favourite, Tom Harris.
Not really my personal, but
But yeah, I'll end that there. So, memorable moments. Well, there's a lot, isn't there? But where do we start here? There's so many. I haven't thought about how we're going to do this.
Memorable moment.
Yeah,
Do we
well,
start earlier in the year, or do you want to start a bit later?
let's start towards the
Like,
beginning. So, obviously, we have the 2 icebreakers to start the year. I did go to Hennesford Civil War. Me and Josh did go to Hennesford, but that was the first meeting I ever filmed with my new camcorder, because for this season I got a brand new camcorder, and that's why my footage just looks so much better than in the past. But that was my first time filming, and it was terrible. That's why I didn't upload it. So that is one of 2 meetings I haven't uploaded on this channel this year. I know I've sucked at uploading this year, but I will try and improve for next year.
Well, we've got more meetings next year, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we've got way more next year.
I enjoyed the Civil War. I didn't enjoy the fact that the South lost. But at the end of the day, the score is now even between the North and South. We're coming up to 2025. It's their 25th anniversary of running the annual Civil War event. Hopefully the South can win. Fingers crossed. The journey up with me, you, and obviously we had a few others in the car with us on the way up there. It was a really good journey. I enjoyed it.
I think
The meeting was a good meeting. Obviously, again, the South lost, so it was a bit disappointing. But I don't know, really. I kind of saw it as it was a good thing overall. But obviously, each their own. Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, personally, I wasn't a fan of it. It got boring, and plus, I did a naff job at filming, so that just kind of put me down a bit. But yeah, no, it was the start to what was a crazy year. A lot happened. I would have done a lot more, but there was other stuff going on throughout the year. So 46 meetings I managed to do by yesterday, which was my last meeting of the year. So
did 46. What did I do? Like 7?
I don't know. I think you've done more than 7. I feel like
I think I did all the Northamptons plus the Aldershot and Skeg Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, so
I kind of lost track how many I've done, but I know I've had a good year with going here, there, and everywhere. I mean, some of the meetings I've done were good, some of them were bad, but also, like I say, there's room for new tracks still that I'm yet to visit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Maybe we can do that in 2025.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have a look at what the fixtures are for next year, which will be when what the next podcast is about. But yeah, memorable moments. So let's go to the icebreakers, shall we? Josh, did you do both the icebreakers?
I did, yes. It was
Yeah.
very good. They were very good. I think one of the memorable moments for me for the Unlimited icebreaker was the debut of Alfie Nottingham joining Team Aftermath, I think. Getting proper stuck in with the Unlimiteds.
No, that wasn't. No, that wasn't. That was War of the Worlds.
I thought he joined that time, didn't he?
You did it right, Josh. Come on, you're supposed to be the.
This was back in July.
Well, it's been a long old year, mate. Come on, I've slept since then.
Yeah.
I mean, Aftermath did put on a good show. I know that. I mean, we saw some faces that we don't usually see, like Aaron Charles. He turned up, was in a Jag in Team Aftermath, something you don't usually see.
Yeah, Jackstar was there. You had Bodger there.
Yeah, that was quite a good way to start off the year. You see drivers there that you don't really expect.
Yeah.
That is a good way to start the year, I think.
The weather was on our side for the icebreakers as well for a change. That they were good events. It's just a shame that obviously it's getting so expensive. You can't really do those meetings anymore. Like, I don't know. Not many cars showed up.
That is the thing nowadays. Like, I hate to say the phrase, but money talks.
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
Unlimited, it's got too ridiculous.
Mm.
Like back when I was younger, my dad was doing bangers day in, day out. He was being paid to bring and collect cars and then getting paid even more for weighing them in. Now, you're putting more money into it than you're getting out of it. But at the end of the day, if it's something you love and enjoy, then you're gonna stick to it.
Yeah, exactly. Also, rev limit of 34 in chat. Will there be more streams for SORUK in 2020? Yes, there will be. There will be more podcasts. We'll mainly do podcasts before big events, but over the winter, whilst we're in the off season, we will do a few here and there just to keep you guys appetized. And yeah, we'll try and continue to do that onwards into next year before the major events anyway, which there is a lot of, but that is a topic for next podcast. Either way, let's move on a bit now. Let's try and step more into Riley's direction now with some stock car stuff. Practice day at Kings
Oh,
Lynn.
thank heavens.
Yeah. Practice day at Kings Lynn. We saw some new cars there. Joey Reynolds' new Shale car. Well, what
Machine.
for how long it lasted before he sold it, I think. But yeah, no.
Did he sell it?
I don't know what he did to it, but I know he had that tarmac car, which was the same as his Shale car, but his Shale car, he changed it, so I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not as clue. I like saloons. Like I know some bits, but I'm not. Don't know
Yeah.
everything.
But yeah, no.
I can tell you one thing which was a bit of an eye opener for people, which I know we're going off of stock cars here a bit, was the Mark V Supra of Ty Williams that he turned up with, which
That was a
everyone
Mark
was guessing
IV.
where
That
it
was a
was.
Mark
Oh, it
IV.
was Mark IV.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people were guessing on where he was going to race it, but nobody actually, as far as I'm aware, nobody truly knew. But it was when it showed up at Milton Hall for the Supreme Championship, that was a very eye-catching car.
Yeah, that was a beautiful
Very
car. He turned up at the same time as I turned up. I got to see that thing pull into the pits. That was beautiful. And I saw it at practice day as well at Lynn when it was raw. That thing, it didn't look very quick round Lynn, but then when he turned up to Milton Hall with it, that thing was a missile.
Another
Was
missile.
practice day not the? Was it the debut of Madwick's new car? Or was he had it
Yeah,
before?
Yes, it was. It was the debut of Sid Madrick's Brisker F2, I believe.
Yeah, it
Was
was.
it the new one, and then Charlie England's yellow one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Polysport one.
I
Isn't it?
love Charlie England's car this year. That was a beautiful car.
I like Ash's one where it's all blue, but yeah, I
Mm.
do like Charlie's.
I
Charlie's is nice.
really like Charlie's. I don't know why. Like the orangey yellow, it just stands out. It looks really nice.
Also, as well, going on to a bit bigger formula, Brisker F1, we saw the first full season of Dave Polly this year, which I'm a Dave Polly fan myself.
Mm.
I think he done quite well this year, even though he's done only purely Shale meetings. But I think he's getting used to the idea now of bigger car, a lot more power. But it's
Yeah,
kind of sort of the same. It's sort of the same, but it's obviously bigger, more powerful, a lot harder, a lot faster. So
No, he was
hopefully
quality.
2025 is
He was quality this
the
year. I was
year.
at Northampton for the debut of his Shale car, and he won heat and final straight out the block. Like that meeting, I've never seen. Even when Tom won the world final there last year, I didn't see someone like go into the corner the way he did. It just looked so like dialed in and perfect from an outsider's perspective. It just looked so perfect, and then to win heat and final in pretty much your proper first meeting as well, like your own car, starting from red. You pretty much first meeting, you win heat and final.
so I was gonna
And
say
then what? He won Bradford again. He won Bradford like a week later or something.
yeah, he did race the year before, but he was in some hire car thing, and
Yeah, I think he was
He
in
was-
a BTEC Tom's car, I think, and he only done like 3-4 meetings.
yeah,
And
but
then he hired out to a New Zealand guy at the World Final.
Yeah,
in
Asheries, yeah.
London. Yeah.
yeah, he had good meetings in that thing in last year, but obviously this year coming in with his own car, he was on a mission, and he has done very well for a first season. I think he's going to be even better next year.
To convert that to a tarmac car for the shootout as well, which shows
Yeah.
the what's the word I'm looking for here? The amount of work that goes into it, because he was in the shootout, which means he had to do tarmac. So they had pretty much every week had to change the car from shale to tarmac, and then to make the final round and pretty much being a shot to win it as well. It's a great proper first season for him.
Keep in mind, he's doing this for fun as well. It's not like he's trying to win everything. He's just trying to enjoy himself. He's doing this for a thrill.
Well, we'll see that. We'll see next year now the World Finals on Shale.
Yeah, he will
I
be
think
good.
he will enjoy it.
I think he will be
I hope
good.
he
He'll
makes
try
it
and
in.
qualify. But yeah, no. Dave Polly, he has been a very good driver this season, and we'll probably talk about him later on in this podcast as well. But yeah. Let's go back to Supreme at Milton Hall. Their season opener there. Obviously,
Yeah.
there were some interesting moments that happened in that meeting, like Sonny Sherwood taking flight. That was probably one of my favourite photos I've taken this year. The Sonny Sherwood taking flight. But yeah, no.
Can I just quickly say, with that photo, all I can think of with that photo is, I don't know, obviously some of you guys might remember the moment if some of you guys play a bit of online Wreckfest, but during a Wreckworth Motorsports meeting, Riley Bricknell decided to do Bricknell Airlines and send it over the bank at Bloomfield Speedway. And it just reminded me of that moment. It just literally did. I didn't know how high he was going to go, but he just come over at speed. It just shocked me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was funny. But either way, let's go to Kings Lynn for the F1 season opener. Bobby Griffin with that stunning Shale car, and also there was a lot of new cars there. You had that. Who drives 375 again with the Frankie Wayman car?
Oh, I don't know his name on the spot. I know
but-
who you're talking about.
yeah.
but I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
if
he-
someone
I mean,
out watches
He
this.
had Frankie Wayman's 2016 Shale car that he did bits in that year when he debuted it. But yeah, 375, he was good. Bobby Griffin had a good start to the year as well. He was doing bits at Skeg, at Lynn. Was he at Northampton in March?
Don't think he was the first
375.
meeting.
375 guys. The name is Craig Liddell.
No,
Lindell?
Cheers.
Lindell, that's it.
Yep, cool. Yeah, he's had
I
some
don't
good
think Bobby
outings.
was at the first Northampton. I can't
No,
actually
he was at
remember.
Lynn. He was at Skeg in March.
He was that Skeg one was pretty decent for him, to be fair.
Yeah, because he rattled Tom Harris.
Then he got down to Blue Top in what, August, and I was like, why have you put Bobby down to August? I know it's based on points, but like you put in one of a talented driver who should be with Tom, Frank, Ryan, and you're putting him
To be
grade ahead of
honest,
everyone.
apart from like the start of the season, he's not been at his peak, I don't think, this year. That might change next year because obviously world final at Lynn he could do bits, but yeah, I guess we'll have to see there. But there were some standout moments in that Lynn season opener as well. You had Craig Finnegan taking flight. He climbed over the top of like what 3 or 4 cars, and then you had a bunch. It was a very chaotic season opener. You had a lot going on
Harry
there.
Sorda taking flight in his
Oh
first
yes.
meeting.
You can't
What a-
forget
what a
about Harry
shot that was.
Sorda. Yeah, the only mini stock meeting I uploaded this year, and it had that happen. That was cool. I was not expecting
Another
that.
wild child.
Can you
in
tell
the
he's,
making.
can you tell he's a Sorda?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Did it on Lexi Finney as well. Lexi Finney came from Junior Bangers at the time, and she had to go in a mini stock, and that happened to her. So you know. But yeah, no,
That's racing.
that was cool. Either way, Riley, is there anything that stood out from the first Northampton?
Apart from Dave Polly, Frank was. I think he DNF'd his first heat or one. I can't remember which one it was, but he was pretty much on rails too. He had a good battle with Polly in the national. He beat him on the last bend. Pretty much not really that much happened. Matt Newsom got spun on the last bend in a consolation,
Yeah.
but not too much. It was quite a tame season opener, to be fair. Apart from F2s, I've forgotten who it was, but pretty much riding a different car on exit of turn 2, the new turn 2, and then just flat out sideways into the wall, which was quite weird to see that happen, but I didn't capture it that well. But oh well,
Yeah.
learn for the next time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Northampton looked good this year. I haven't seen much from it. I haven't really seen your footage all that much, I'll be honest. But no,
No.
but sounds like it was good. Either way, let's move on to the first big weekender of the year, shall we? Easter weekend. We was gonna do 4 meetings, but unfortunately, I just felt horrible after Northampton BWS, so I couldn't do wacky races, which is gutting because that meeting was awesome. But Yeah.
What races I was there for, so I can comment on
Yep, there we go.
few of the highlights. I turned up late, so there wasn't really that much to see. However, when I did turn up, there was I believe there was a good crash with the 4x4 bangers, and there was a bit of a highlight going on with I believe it was the Siamese. Were the Siamese on this year at
Yeah,
Wacky Races?
Siamese were on this year.
Yeah, so but when I turned up, we were getting towards like I believe we were like over halfway through.
Yeah.
But it was a good meeting, a lot of action packed. However, there was a bit of an injury between I believe it was Shippy and 343. I don't know the name of the driver.
343, he's won the green and white lot, but yeah, he got done the doors, and that led towards the ban of T-bones.
Well, it's led towards it led towards ORCI in discussion of the rule on T-bones
Yeah.
more than banning really, but it was a good meeting overall. I enjoyed it. Any meeting for me, I enjoy because at the end of the day, every meeting is a must for me that I can do it
Yeah.
anyways. But no, it was decent, but I just wish I'd have been there from the start. That was all.
Yeah. Let's go on to
Don't turn up late next time.
Yeah, let's stick with Easter weekend. Probably one of Riley's favourite meetings he saw this year, even though he wasn't there. Skeg Good Friday. That was an awesome meeting. I loved every minute of that.
Good meeting, that.
Yeah. First off, let's talk about the absolute deluge that happened before the meeting. That was reminiscent of World Masters last year. Jesus.
Oh God, don't take me back to that. Jeez.
Yeah, no, that was bad. Yeah, that was bad at Northampton, but that was bad at Skeg as well on Good Friday. Just like a couple hours before the meeting, had a full-on flood outside the track, and then yeah. But the racing was good. The track dried out really quick, to be fair, for the time of the year. So fair play to the crews as well there. That was good, and the racing was amazing. The National Hot Rods, first time I've ever seen them ever at that meeting, so that was quite a special moment. They were awesome to film, absolutely loved it, and I will be going back to Good Friday at Skegness next year, so looking forward to that. That will be awesome to see the hot rods again. And also the F1s were in good action as well. You had Bobby Griffin running Tom Harris in front of me on 3 and 4. Harris rattled the fence, went round. Tom also done Lee Fairhurst in that same race. That was the Grand National. That's quite a good Grand National, to be fair. Not as good as the one in May, but, you know.
That was the start of Tom's Catherine tarmac car
Yeah.
moment of the year as well, because he didn't have his own tarmac. It's not even his own, but he didn't have a tarmac car which was purely built for him at some point until the World Final in September. So he had to use his sister's car for first 4-5 months of the season, something like that.
Up until the World Final. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Good Friday was really good. The F2s were on as well. The F2s were a little tame, but they had good racing moments. I can't remember much from them. I know there was a bit of a pile up on 1 and 2. Tom Davidson made his way through that. He got hit quite hard through the pile up, and then yeah, everybody just kind of piled in. The F1s had their moments as well, pile-ups on 1 and 2 in pretty much the same spot. I think Paul Hines had quite a hard hit in that meeting as well, or George Elwell, or one of the Dutch boys that was there.
George,
Yeah, George Elwell and Paul Hines, I think it was, that came together. They had quite a big moment. But yeah, no, quite a good.
Not the start of Jake Harry's final win run?
Yes, that was the start of Jake Harry and Tom Harris domination. That was Jake Harry had a great meeting at Skeg. That was
the
really
start
good.
of his season was really good, like the best Jake's ever been.
Yeah,
I think he went from yellow straight to red or superstars. Very impressive.
Yellow to superstar. That was amazing. And yeah, because not only did he win at Skeg, he won at Hennesford a couple weeks later. So that was quite cool. What's everyone's favourite meeting this year? We will talk about that in due course. We do have a segment where we talk about our favourite meetings and the reason why they're our favourite meetings. But first, we'll just keep scrolling through. So, Saturday. Oh, sorry, my mic peaked out. I shouted. But yeah, no. Saturday, East Anglian Championship at Kings Lynn. There's only one real storyline that comes from this, and that is Frenchie's limo.
Oh, was that the green one?
The big green one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was the green, like weirdly shaped limo where it looked like a Lincoln in the middle, but then the front and rear end were like what are they called? I believe it's like
Excalibur.
some sort of some sort of Scour Merc or something.
I think it's
I
called the
don't know.
Excalibur limo.
Yeah, Excalibur, that's it.
Because one was raced at Taunton in 2010 or 2009, and Frenchie's was the second one ever raced. So that was quite a cool car. Probably one of my favourite like big cars raced this season. That was something special. And when you look in the engine bay, the engine was like 8 feet back or something crazy like that. The front end was giant. But yeah, no, that thing was a cool bit of kit. You had some smart cars there as well, like Carl Roberts' Jag. You had some Dutch people come over for that weekend as well. You had 105, I forgot his name, but he was in a used Merc for that meeting. Good to have the overseas boys come over for meetings, especially in the UK and especially at King's Lynn. But also, let's move on to Northampton BWS on Sunday. Riley was there with us. And that was
proper banger meeting.
yeah, that was a great day. Very cold day, but a very good day. And one car that stands out from the rest of that meeting was Joe Jeeves's Hoonicorn Mustang.
Oh, what a car!
Yeah, that thing was cool. And I think Stokesy was there, and Stokesy had a helping hand in building that, so that was quite cool. Quite cool seeing that race. But
all the cars there looked quality, to be fair to him.
yeah, very brave to race
Bowman
it as well.
had a hearse, did he?
Bowman had a Merc limo, or a Slimo as we call it, Slimazine.
I thought he had a hearse or something. Yeah,
It was
because he got like jacked from the back home straight.
That was one of many Slimozines of the BWS calendar. That was.
Yeah, and another moment was obviously Joe G's jacking up Ario at on 1 and 2 banger direction, and the whole bulkhead snapped, like it completely snapped. That was a thing. I was expecting that thing to crumple way more though. But then you had
like, as he goes in, you're thinking if someone just like lines it up perfectly and just full throttle, then the whole thing's just going to squish like a tin can. But it didn't.
Yeah, it held up.
Quite surprising.
It held up to the shot better than I thought it would. It still snapped quite bad, and it ended his day. But yeah, it was a very cool car and one of a contender for car of the year. That is for sure. Still to go on with the Sunday at Northampton. The big pile-ups, like you had Josh Gooch going on Oppo all day. You had the Vorkinks going at it in their Volvo estates. You had the war between Lennon Phillips and Charlie Jackson on Oppo for each other all the time. You had Team Grey and Black on who was it? DWO was it? No, it was Barton Boys. Barton Boys.
Yeah, and then you had a bit of BRCM and DWO going at it.
Yeah, you had Jonesy getting done left and right. It was a good day. And then also in the historic stock cars, when Darren was filming, he got what's his nickname again? Gumbo 418. He decided to go on the middle and try and jump the corner. That was quite funny.
I forgot about that.
Mm.
That was funny.
Yeah, and then you had Riley filming the 3000 stock cars where Tebbs had some good races. This was before the Tebbs and Smith war really kicked off.
Tebenham Smith, well, Tebenham / Mail / Joe, all of them, and then it's like, so it's before it all kicked off, and then you can still like see it's like something's going to happen between the year of the 1300s, because the amount of bump work in that 1300 meeting was quality.
Yeah, it was a good meeting, and yeah, very cold but very good meeting. That is another one we will be doing again next year on the Easter weekend. We do plan on doing every single Easter meeting next season, so we're looking forward to that. Always one of our favourite weekends of the year.
What was after Easter?
What was after Easter? We had F1s at Lynn where Ryan. We had F1s at Lynn where Ryan Harrison done the triple.
Oh yeah, heat final national.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was on rails.
he was flying, mate. How quick he was going down the straight to that meeting. That was something
That
special.
Grand National was different quality of car, the car performance and car driver skill.
You had the Teslas there as well going at it. They were good all day. Yeah, there were a lot of moments from that meeting, I feel like. You had a lot of bumper action. It was good racing all day. What did they have on alongside them? Hold on, let me double check.
Saloons, I think.
Yeah, well, I believe it was Saloon's European, I believe.
No, that
No,
was on
no,
the
no.
semi-final weekend. The second F1 limb meeting of the year.
Ah, they had F2s. They had F2s,
Yeah,
and the one thing I can think of with the F2s on that day, well, two things. One, the F2s were absolute carnage. That was one of the most savage meetings of the year, I think. But then two, Jack Issett's beautiful move on Charlie England and Charlie
I was
Ginchard.
just about to say, if you don't mention it, I will.
Yeah,
That was a great move.
That was beautiful from him, and probably one of the best moves we've seen in the stock cars this season from a driver.
Perfectly timed to get 2 cars out the way for the win.
Yep, and he survived the
Perfect
hit as
timing.
well. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Perfect.
Ryan Harrison was the main man on that day. 3 wins out of 3. And that Grand National drive was something special. Yeah, there was a lot of
Was
chaos.
he the first to get the triplet Lin?
Yes, he was, and then Tom Harris did it in the meeting in May, I think.
We might have. I can't
I
remember
think
the
he
main
did.
meeting, to be honest.
I think he did, because Tom was dominant in May. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Ryan Harrison forced...
Yeah, Ryan won the heat because Tom got caught up with a pile-up on the back straight.
Brooke Kitson spun in front of him, and Ryan went for it and pushed him up wide, and Ryan won that.
Yeah.
But then Tom won the final and the Grand National, I think. So fair play to him. Yeah, that was a good meeting as well.
That was the start of THM dominance.
Yep. But yeah, Ryan Harrison was in a league of his own at that meeting. Let's keep going. Milton Hall BWS. I think there was a lot of cool cars at that meeting. Some of my favourite cars of the year. One of them was Kieran Bowman's Crown Estate that he had. The Vorkinks turned up with some Volvo 262 coupes, I think.
I didn't see anything from Milton Hall BWS in on this one.
Yeah, they did. They turned up with them 2 coupes.
Yeah, that was a good day as well. That was the Bears and the Barton boys going at it as well. Where Jeremy, I think...
believe Ashley Law turned up with it was either a Jag or
it was a
Rolls
Rover.
Royce.
It was a Rover P5 coupe.
Oh, there you go. It was a Rover. My bad.
Rover P5 coupe.
That was one of the many of the British tin rounds to get into the world final. Kind of done a Joe Jeeves, but he finished it with full British. He didn't do British, as Joe Jeeves called it, the British World Series.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a cool looking car.
Also, hello, Charles Ginchard and CML Motorsport. Welcome to the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Roblox Racing as well. Sorry, I did see your message earlier. I just forgot to respond. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. 13 of you in chat. Thank you all for joining. And I hope you enjoy the podcast so far, or are enjoying it. But yeah, Milton Hall BWS, you had Jack Star hitting everything in that Volvo. You had the big pile-ups. You had Ario go airborne on 1 and 2, courtesy of one of the Vorkinks. That was cool.
Is that the one after, like a week after Easter weekend?
That was a few weeks after Easter weekend. That was the meeting straight after.
I saw nothing from that meeting at all.
Yeah, you had the F1s on the 6th of April with the F2s, and then on the 20th of April was Mildo BWS. I think on that same weekend...
Was the F1s after that? We should have fact-checked all of this before.
Yeah, I know, we should have.
Oh, there was Northampton after that.
Yeah, Northampton after that, where you had them 2 cars go airborne in the F2s.
Oh, that was one of the... From me filming this year, that was one of the top 3 moments. They're all getting together, and you just feel like something might happen here. And then up the 2 cars just go up, and you're like, right, okay. And then another one goes in as well, and you're thinking, well, first obviously you hope everyone's all right, but then you're like, that's great to just witness like 2 cars just go up together.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
you don't see that often.
Riley, whilst editing the Best of 2024 video, I had to clip some of your videos from that meeting. You missed 2 other moments where cars went airborne.
I was disappointed on that day. Like F2s especially, I was like, damn, I could have done so much better.
Yeah.
I think F1s was okay. I think I got
F1s
the
were a bit
main modes, but it wasn't that. It wasn't a decent. It was okay. It wasn't one of the best.
yeah.
It started slow at Northampton.
Then we move on to Ipswich on the 4th of May. This is just before Kev Waller weekend, so there will be a lot. We'll probably have a whole segment on Kev Waller weekend, but yeah, no, Ipswich on the 4th of May, rookie bangers, 1600 bangers, national hot rods, and the Superstocks English Championship. Quite a good day, I'll be honest. I wasn't expecting much from it. I just wanted to go see hot rods and Superstocks, really. That's mainly why I went. But in the 1600 bangers, I think, what's his name? Jack Bland, 579. He had quite a big rollover and caught on fire, courtesy of two guys warring. One guy got hit into him in the rear corner, and that just sent him over. That was quite spectacular. That will be in the crash highlights video. And
I was gonna say that's got to be in there, surely.
yeah, that was quite spectacular. You had the national hot rods. You had Paul Wright 743. He got spun out early on in the first heat. That created a mess between the red tops. And then in the
Is that
final,
when 76 got caught up? Or was that the final you're about to say?
I'm now going on to the 76.
Okay. I thought that was the heat as well.
Adam Maxwell, there was a car that stalled off the line in the final because obviously it's clutch start. One of the yellow tops had stalled it, and then he was just in the middle of the track. Adam Maxwell. He clipped the number 8 car, which sent him into the 32, creating a massive pile up on the front straight, led to a restart. But I remember that final being quite good. I think it was dominated by Rob McDonald, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one heat and final.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
then the Superstocks English Championship. What is it? Chris Bradbury?
Yes, I'm gonna fact check that, but yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he won
Former
the
FT driver.
he won the English Championship, dominated it in fine style. Great drive from him. CML Motorsport. My favourite meeting has to have been one of the Skeggies where Tom, Frank, Rob and Lee and many more were going at it every corner in the Grand National before the Marshal was hit by a shot. We wasn't at that one. I was at Kev Waller weekend.
Day one UK, yeah.
Yeah. I wish
Luckily I had a live stream.
I wish Riley was able to go to Skeg on that weekend, so then we'd have Kev Waller and UK Open. Hopefully,
That Grand I'm sure we'll get onto it, but that Grand National was something special.
yeah, I'm gutted we wasn't there for that. But then again, Kev Waller was still amazing, so that was a great compensation. But no, the highlight of the Superstocks English Championship was in the second heat, I think, where 469 got obliterated by somebody.
I think that produced one of our most watched shorts. I think I'll fact check that, but I think we got quite a few people check that one out because that was, I don't know what the thought process beyond that was, but it was a good shot, to be fair.
That's a shame. That was a proper meeting. Yeah, I'm hoping next year I'll do Kev Waller and Riley can go to Skeg. I'm praying that can happen.
I hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
I do like UK Speed Weekend. The only thing I'm not, F1 UK Speed Weekend. The only thing that drags out a little bit is the minis. Like, I feel like they're good, obviously, to have, but I feel like sometimes they're just like, come on, let's just get on with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll see, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. That way we can get 4 epic meetings out in one weekend. Will there...
There is one meeting you're missing as well, just before we go on to Kev Waller, which was the first ever running of the Trackstar Racing running the draft meeting.
The draft meeting.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a really good meeting in my personal view.
Yeah.
That was the first banger meeting where I was like fully interested, like proper, from the announcement. I was like, yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, that was a sick day, and I'm very happy they're bringing it back next year. That's going to be awesome. And then, yeah, obviously...
I am slightly disappointed, though, that they have taken off Unlimited, but they have replaced it with 1,300 stock cars. So
which I think is better.
Hopefully, maybe Tebs might make an appearance, maybe, and do a stock car and banger, maybe.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
I'd like to see it, but a boy can dream.
Yeah.
A boy can dream.
Rev Limiter, will there be more meetings coming to the channel in the new year? The next meetings for me will be the 2 icebreakers. So, on the 9th...
One's what, BWS?
My first one will be Civil War, and maybe Winter if I'm that keen, maybe.
Right,
but we'll have to see.
Josh, if you're going to Winter Nationals, if Mason's taking you, I might come with you, but we'll see.
Well, I don't know. Max said he was on about taking me to it because he's quite keen to. He's constantly keen now. We've got Max addicted.
Yeah.
I know
So-
Tebs is going for that one.
If you guys
Oh.
are going Winter Nationals, take me with you. I want to go.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll
my
see
first
on
one's
that.
Northampton.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
should we talk a bit more about the draft meeting, about obviously how the concept of it worked, and obviously the teams and how they performed?
Yeah. So the red team won the draft. So including
AKA the Redditors.
That's a
and
great name.
I had a very good friend of mine on that team, Travis Ira. He won £100 from that, so that was good.
Oh, good boy.
Yeah, but did you say good boy?
No, I said, oh, the boy.
Oh, the boy, yeah.
Like, he's not a dog. I'm not going, good boy, Travis.
Good boy.
Also, there is
boy.
another person that's a good friend of SORUK's, which is obviously Curtis Merkin. He had a all right day, I believe,
Oh,
until
mate.
he got caught up in the pile up in the micros.
He got done on the nose by Glenn, 197, and then Lenny Merkin with a monster shot on him. That was awesome. Awesome shot from Lenny. One of many awesome shots from Lenny. I think Lenny, in my opinion, was the driver of the day. He was hitting everything at flat out speeds as well. He was very good. And then you had all the action on Oppo. We was on a different bend that day, so we had all the action in front of us, and that was just awesome. It was just a shame that all the crowd was in the way. It's not a very great spot for filming, unfortunately.
Did you not have your step then?
I had
He
my
did.
I had my step, but I had
Yeah.
I had a bunch of people like yelling at me like I'm in the way when I got there first way before them.
Oh, I got the same at European, mate. So.
Yeah.
Another point I'd like to point out with the draft. Obviously, we're moving a bit forward with the formulas, but Callum White, one of the Aftermath boys, was the captain of obviously the White Warriors. He could not resist but spot Jack Overy, and he just couldn't resist it on Oppo, could he?
No.
Him and Sonny Parsons literally took him straight out on Oppo, and then they just constantly just drilled into him one by one. It was an entertaining moment.
Also on
Very
the
entertaining.
also in the 2 litre bangers, you had obviously the war continuing between Scrapyard Screamers and the Predators. Although they were in different coloured teams at the time, they were still going to war with each other, doing each other left, right, and centre. Because that war started at the first 2 litre banger meeting at Lynn in March, where they just kept doing dead car shots on the Predators. So that war continued. I don't know if it's still going on, but yeah. But obviously it continued at the draft, and then you also had a good shot from, I think it was Troy Cobbett in the 1600s, done Matthew Jodlink for the straight and went airborne. That was a cool shot.
I mean, also as well, we had one of the main commentators from Trackstar out there, Matt Black.
Yeah.
I heard he didn't do well in one of his heats. Apparently, he said, if I'm correct, he said he lost talent. And then in another heat, he seemed to do really well, constantly guiding everybody through that was part of his team, and then anybody that wasn't his team, he just pulled out and stopped them.
The
So,
Goldie testimonial
teamwork.
was my first time watching Unlimited Bangers. It was awesome. I was so gutted not to go to that. I had
gutted
plans
as
on the
well.
day. I had plans on the day I was gonna go, but last minute things came up. I'm gutted I missed that.
When was that?
Late
That
August.
was in August. That was meant to be. It was meant to be a double weekender, I believe, with the Dave Vincent testimonial as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
but obviously.
And then obviously,
Yeah. But with that said, let's move on to probably what's going to take up most of this stream,
yeah,
Kev Waller weekend.
this is your moment, guys. Because the
Yeah.
one afters, I've got
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah,
This is-
Riley, you might as well
this is
get
your
a
moment.
digestive biscuit and some tea, mate,
Yeah,
because
I'll get
we're
some
going to be
tea.
here a minute.
you put your feet up, mate, because I can.
Oh, I already am, mate.
Mate,
Please.
there is so much to talk about from Kev Waller weekend. It
I was
was
too busy
unreal.
watching Skeg.
Let's start off with the Friday night, the barbecue, the parties in the camping grounds, the Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights, the Dutch that came over that were partying till God knows how many
You
hours.
had
Some of-
Bodger's lot. There was like hundreds of them around Bodger's lot.
that was the start, I think, properly of the All-Star Garage vlogs.
The All-Star Garage,
Just before that.
Oh,
All-Star,
yeah, that was the start, wasn't it?
All-Star Garage started in like April. So just before.
Yeah, but that was one of the major weekends that got everybody interested. Where
that
we
got
had
him on the
where
map.
I noticed on when walking round, there was a load of people wearing hoodies saying mullets on tour, and they were walking around with all long mullets and wigs and crap. Honestly, it was so
Yep.
funny.
Don't you have
Oh.
a mullet?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
yeah,
will
for
bring it to another Northampton meeting when I'm
Bring it
down
to
that way,
European.
Riley. I
Bring it to
will. Don't you
European.
worry. I mean, let's just start with the Saturday as well.
Mm.
Saturday, that was a great day. Lots of action. It started off tame, I quite think, but then again, with pre-70s,
I think compared to the last 2 years before that, that was the best run of heats we've ever had for the pre-70s. That was livelier than any other start to a Kev Waller weekender. That was good. And then the consolations, as usual, it went haywire. Everything went mental in the consolations once again. Always does. You had the massive jacking train in front, the big pilot where Kevin Starr and everybody went in. You had the Anthill mob in there. Bodger came, number 83 with the Taunus coupe. He went into the train on the back of the console, and then Bodger came in with the P4 and obliterated him fully to the cage.
also there was a few good shots from Slim, if you remember.
Yep.
Also in the pile up, and then we ended up seeing Mark Cooper do a massive rollover and land on top of Bowman.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what one you're talking about there.
That was such a shock. We're focusing on the pile up. You turn your head slightly and you see, oh, a car's in the air. And it's just landed on top of the box. I was like,
That's one of my
double-decker.
favourite shots from the year from James.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
literally,
great
I
shot.
literally stood there and I went to James. I didn't realise we come to watch Siamese bangers, and he sat there laughing.
Mate, I was watching Lump go into the pile up, and then next thing I know, I see Mark Cooper in the air on top of Bowman's car. I'm like, huh?
That happened.
That was great. And then later on, I think in the next race after, you had was it a Mustang take flight? You had Bruno go upside down, then that Mustang take flight. It's the thumbnail.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
We're just having a look. I'm just having a look through the videos now.
Yeah, the thumbnail is the Mustang.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm now at the train where we just mentioned. Yeah, the massive. I believe that was some kind of Mustang. Yeah,
Something like that. I
it
don't
went
know what it is.
airborne.
Yeah, it took flight. Bruno went upside down, and everybody just kept piling in. It was great. You had that jacking train in one of the consolations as well, where Josh kept putting his damn hand up in front of the camera, so I missed every shot.
I'm very sorry, guys. If my
Yeah,
hand was
Josh,
getting in the way.
come on,
I got
man.
so excited.
Filming in process.
No,
Sorry,
it's
guys.
fine. We're just
I
trying
did, I
to.
did ask.
It gets the atmosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but at the end of the day, that's what racing's all about.
Exactly. I'm not crucifying you for it. I'm just saying it got in the way a little bit.
I'm just looking through now. By the looks of it, in the final as well, Tom Waller on Oppo, he was just
Yep.
literally going for anybody and everybody. Where he picked a wall with a P4 by the looks of it on the
Yeah.
infield.
Oh yeah, can't remember Steve-O's following on 21. Is it like Gilbert something?
Yeah. Also, as well, Boogie following in. I believe it was one of the A60s. It was 92, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was in the
92.
last race. And
Yeah.
then also in that last all-comers, you had the train with Bowman, the 115 car. You had Tim and Van Length get ran in length of the straight. That was proper. And then obviously Boogie's following. You had the big pile up. Bodger went on Oppo on Burns. That was hard.
I tell you what, though, car of the meeting was Roscoe's.
Yes.
That Aston, I believe, was it an Aston?
It was a Rolls Royce. It was a Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce, 1934 Rolls Royce. I mean, come on, where do you see the? Where does he get these cars? We need to know.
He keeps
Well,
them in his
where
yard
would
for
he get them
years
from?
and then races them. Yeah, but yeah, no, Roscoe's Rolls Royce. That was insane. That is one of my cars of the year. In my opinion, that was beautiful. And then you had a bunch of other cool cars as well, like the wedding car, the 802 car. You had Tim and Van Lent from the Netherlands with that old Triumph thing. That was quite cool.
Obviously, a lot of Cortinas and A60s and Triumphs and P4s. I believe Willie, he had some kind of Austin like camper van.
He had
like,
he had a
race.
he had like a bubble camper thing.
Yeah, that was a very good
I think
car
the full
as well.
name for it is an Austin A55, like Cambridge
What in the
van
world
thing.
was it that Wally's guys raced? The 308 car. I can't remember what the car was called.
That was a Triumph. No, that was a Humber Hawk, I think.
Yeah, it was some kind of Hummer, and I was
It was a
like,
Humber
"What?
Hawk.
What the hell's a Hummer?"
Mate, that thing was
I
hard.
tell you, I tell you, one guy that I noticed that was there, 117 Kamikaze. Now that just brought back so many memories seeing him out there
Yeah.
because he was a driver from my childhood, and I just used to see him constantly race, and seeing him out there, it just put a smile on my face. Like seeing my old childhood come back to me. It was such a good day though. All in all,
We will go back to him very shortly for the pre-90 day, but yeah, you had so many cool cars there, man. You had there was a Ford Zephyr Mark II estate thing, but it couldn't get going all day.
no.
But yeah, no.
Obviously, then we go to after meeting. Got the barbecue going again. Got
Yep.
a lot of partying was going on in the bar. I was extremely shattered, so I didn't do most of the drinking.
No.
I don't drink, guys. I promise.
That's
I'm
not
not
like you.
alcoholic. I'm not a drinker. I
Oh, yes, you
promise.
are. Yes, you are.
Don't
Right,
hide it.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a good day, the Saturday, but then we brought ourselves to the Sunday, pre-90 time.
Yep.
UK day. Oh, yeah, you're wrong day.
Yeah, wrong day, but right formulas.
Well, right day,
Look,
but
yeah.
wrong
So
track.
Sunday, pre-90s, well, a lot of good cars where we saw the Pirates, a team I'd never
Yeah.
seen before, come
Yeah.
out of the woodwork. A lot of cool looking cars
They had
again.
Rolls
I mean,
Royces, Jag XJSs.
Tom Reynolds with his hearse,
Aw.
Kieran Bowman with his Cadillac limo.
Ty
You
Williams
had
with
Tom
the Mercury
Waller
estate.
with his Tom Waller with the Continental. A lot of Volvos, a lot of Granadas.
Yeah, you had
was-
who else? You had Jan van Osch with the I think it's a Ford Galaxy hearse.
Yeah, you had you had Bricknell turn up with the Rolls Royce.
You had Trummer with his Life of Riley Yank.
Yeah, you had Bodger turn up with his World Final Jag as well.
Yep.
That was a pretty looking car. It still looked pretty,
Yeah.
even though it'd been bashed to bits.
Mm.
I'll tell you one thing though that you definitely knew was coming. The Silver Boys, Ricky Finney, and one of the Ingle boys turned up with their Lincoln town cars. Now they were one of them two cars were put to proper use. Also, another two good cars that showed up: Ty Williams and
Yeah,
Joe
I've
Jeeves.
said Ty Williams. Oh yeah, Joe
Yep.
Jeeves, Kevin Starr. You
A
had
lot of Rolls Royces I'm looking for.
you had
Oh,
108
one of
as well.
the 834. You know I
Yeah,
think you
yeah,
know how to
that's-
pronounce his name, James.
I said that earlier, Jan van Osch.
Yeah. Or what else? You had number 56 turn up in
Yep.
another Lincoln Continental. You had the Equalisers turn up with a few Jags and Volvos.
Lee Kingsnorth with the Bentley.
But the highlight of the day that made everybody smile, Patch returning to Speedworth
Yep, that was awesome. Patch was on another level that day.
with his indestructible Jags.
Yep. You had Ricky finished shot on Turbo Tom Reynolds. Oh, that was something special.
That was just, yeah.
That was
That
through the back, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you
Do
could
you know what the best
yeah.
thing
you
is
could-
though?
you
Is that not
see-
the thumbnail for the music video?
you could see
Yeah.
you could see Tom inside the car putting his hands in the air. He was loving every minute of it.
There is an in-car footage somewhere of Tom sat there clapping his hands as soon as Ricky Finney went into the back of him, and his arms like shooting out the window. It's absolutely quality. He sat there with a big smile on his face.
Yep. And Tom Reynolds has booked in for Kev Waller next year and the Paul Butler meeting, so that'll be quite
Oh.
entertaining.
Please say he's got more hearses because he's absolutely quality with them.
Yeah, he is proper old school. He's like one of the last old guard that raced like years ago.
Also, another guy that you might remember, James, that returned, Pete Winters, one of the track star,
Oh yeah,
old track
Pete
star
Winter.
lot.
Yeah, he had a go in it. Jordan Sharp was there as well with him. They were quite good.
Yeah.
Pete Winter done Sean Brockenshire in the Volvo
Yeah.
and the jacking train when he done Tom Waller. That was a cool jacking train.
Yeah, that was literally the old "Here comes Waller Waller" from
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you can hear yourself in the video saying it. Grunter as well.
Oh, Matt Black's he's made a proper good like thing of that.
Yeah, it's now sound on Snapchat.
Yep. Well, I made it.
Yeah.
But yes, honestly, the Sunday was brilliant, well action packed.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Kieran Bowman though, putting his shots in with that limo.
Yeah, that
he
shot
put a
on
lot of good shots in.
that shot on Trummer, and then that Jag went into the back of Bowman, lifted him in the air, bent the roof of the Jag on top of him. That was cool.
He went in on Ricky Beasley, and literally the roof actually snapped off.
I wasn't on about that. I was on about when Bowman did Trummer, but yeah, Bowman's shot on Beasley was stunning as well. The damage done to that Jag afterwards folded it completely in half.
I know Ty Williams and Joe Jeeves got proper stuck in with their Yanks.
Yep, Ty Williams done Joe Jeeves.
Ty had more fun with Joe than Joe, but
yeah, Joe later took that same vehicle to Smallfield for the Bears meeting.
Yeah, well at least he killed it off at another good meeting.
Ty did the same as well. Took that thing to that meeting and then killed it. But yeah, no. Obviously the train with Pete Winter, Sean, Beasley, Waller, people like that. You had the shots from 315. He did Sonny Sherwood, quite good. And then Patch done him as well. That was quite good. And then yeah, that's just so. It was a very hot weekend as well. I was sweltering all weekend.
Hot, action packed, carnage, memorable.
Exactly.
I think they're the key words for that weekend.
Yep. Right, let's now head back into Riley's depth of field. Let's go to the week after.
See, now I'm going to put my feet up and I'm going to go and grab my tea, and I'm going to let Riley have a bit of talking time.
F2 British. Let's go.
F2 British. This is a long Riley segment.
It was a good meeting.
It was an epic meeting.
It started brilliantly for Charlie Tomlin, the ex-World of Shale champion, winning 2 heats.
I think
heat 2 and 4.
Yeah. Charlie Tomlin had a great day. Greg McKenzie had a great day. They were both on the front row. All the local drivers were up at the front. It was really good. And
Finch got pole from consistency. Second, I think 3.
The real number one.
The real number one.
Someone
3
has to
seconds. Yeah. So well, if he didn't, I was 3 seconds.
I was going to beat you to it.
Yeah. Well, we had to wait till September, really, didn't we? But
yeah,
get in early, why not?
When we get to that point, but
3 seconds, I think, or 2 seconds in a win, one of them, to secure pole from Tomlin, and with Gordon Moody getting, was it row 3 inside or outside? I think it was row 3,
something like that.
And Greg McKenzie on row 2. You're thinking this could be a bit tasty.
I thought Moody was going to win it.
It didn't last long for Ginch, unfortunately.
I will tell you, boys, that definitely did shock me, seeing a blue grader win a championship.
Oh, it didn't shock me.
Greg McKenzie.
I didn't expect it.
I wasn't expecting Greg to simply outdrive Moody, but I knew Greg was competitive and would give Moody a hard time. But he just drove away from it.
That made it 2 years in a row where I've said on a Monday of a British Championship where I said who's going to win. Back-to-back years. I said Finn Sargent last year for F1s. And I said Greg this year for F2s, so I'm taking that 2 for 2. I'll go again next year.
I thought Tomlin was going to win it. I thought Tomlin was going to do it.
Rapid.
Yeah, Tomlin got third. Tomlin got third, Moody second, and Greg McKenzie with the drive of his life taking the win. Well deserved. That was awesome.
I thought Ginch from pole was not going to drive away with it, but I think he'd battle more. Well, I say battle more. It wasn't really his fault. I thought he'd be into the race longer, but obviously he got taken out turn 1, and then what did he break? I've forgotten what he broke. Was it suspension? No, what was it?
No, it wasn't suspension. It was something internal.
He broke something, and he was out on lap 1, which was something unfortunate.
Internal.
Yeah, end of the race for Ginch on lap 1, which sucked for his year. Really, it was the story of his year, getting taken out or unlucky moments in championships.
Yeah,
we'll come to that.
But no,
what were the F1s like at that meeting? Because I don't think I was there for that one.
Tom v Ryan, pretty much.
Tom v Ryan, they were very good. You had some lively moments, and I think there was a big moment between Niels Tesla and somebody else in that meeting. There was a big hit into the wall in front of me.
Oh, yellow top? With a yellow top?
I think it was with a yellow... I don't know if it was that meeting, but I know Niels and I think it was Bradley Bliff had quite a big coming together.
I'm gonna fact check because I remember seeing the screenshot of it.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that meeting, but yeah, I got some of my best photos ever from that meeting.
The photo of Gordon and in the sunset on turn 3 and 4 was that was my background on my laptop for a bit.
Oh.
That was gorgeous.
Well,
Yeah, it was Niels Tesla, Bradley Blythe, 235. That's I've forgotten his name. That's not good. In the Ryan car.
235.
Yeah. How's my mind gone blank?
Mick Howarth.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
him, Bradley Blythe. I think it's Bradley 131, and Niels Tesla with a white top in there. I can't quite see who it was, but yeah, into turn 1. Polly just went through, and then obviously you had the consolation.
What, Polly?
You had the consolation, Craig Finnegan and Callum Gill across the line, pretty much sideways.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, that wasn't good for you. And the pile up in the whites and yellows was a bit mental. I think you had almost every yellow top getting involved, causing a track blockage. Or was that the heat? That was one of them.
I think
that's the white top race.
That was
White
the
and
whites and yellows. Yeah, you had a track blockage. That was mental. That
was one of the worst days for live stream, by the way. The live stream on that day was not good.
Yeah. You know, it's a good
I'm
moment
glad
when it comes
I'm glad
up
you
as a
captured
laptop
a lot
background.
of it.
Yeah, that's probably one of my better meetings I've filmed this year. And also that photo with Tom and Ryan in the thumbnail for the F1s, that is probably my favourite photo of the year. My favourite one I've ever
That's
taken.
a clean picture.
I love that photo.
Nice
it's not
picture.
my personal favourite, but
Nice picture. Just don't like the drivers.
Yeah.
like you don't, yeah. Here comes the biasty.
Look, I'm
Well,
sorry.
technically, we've already had some biasty saying Ginch to real number 1. But,
Sorry. Anyway, talking to the F1s, how was the first ever of the running of Brisker F1s at Aldershot? How did that go?
I think me and James might say similar.
Yeah, it was a bit boring.
Yeah, it needed more cars. But, wasn't it in Ipswich the night before? Or was it the day or a week before?
No, Ipswich was like 2 weeks
close to it.
Ipswich was 2 weeks after.
Yeah, I think they wanted an Ipswich the night before, like they're doing next year with Ipswich and Yarmouth. But it needed more numbers. It was decent, but the way the track is, especially in a heat, if a white top got a decent gap, they won it. The only time that red tops pretty much got close was in the final, and then Charlie Sorder got a puncture.
Everybody got a puncture in that final. That was weird.
The hot rods were the best formula that day.
10 cars or something like that had punctures by the end of that. That track just eats tyres. And then obviously Billy Woods.
Wasn't that the debut? That was the debut of Billy Woods' car.
Billy Woods MX-5.
We saw that unload.
Yeah, that was another one of my favourite photos of the year. Billy Woods' car on track. That was beautiful.
Beautiful. I thought you called it sex on wheels, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Probably did, to be fair. That was hot rods were definitely the best formula that day. I think that was the 3rd time I've seen hot rods in person, but I ain't seen him in the
That
few
was
years.
my
when it was
Northampton
Northampton, Tarmac was the last time I saw him.
That was my 3rd time.
That is one thing I'd like to do. That's watch national hot rods at Aldershot, because I've heard it's fast.
Oh, it was
watch.
It was really good. I think who is it? What's his name? James, you support him?
Who? Oh, Hayden
What
Ballard.
number? I'll probably recognise.
Yeah, Hayden Ballard. Was it not him that won the final or heat?
Yeah, it was. Hayden
the way
was
he
on rails.
chuck into the corners is ridiculous.
There was like
Hayden Ballard.
There was a 4-car train for the lead. There was a 4-car battle for the lead, and Hayden Ballard was leading it all the way to the checkered flag. It was good.
Yeah, that was a good meeting for the hot rods. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
one.
that's probably
Hayden
my favourite.
Ballard is definitely a future world champion.
That's probably my favourite hot rod meeting I've been to.
I can't remember the last one I went to, so it's going to be mine. My last one I went to was like when Northampton was Shale Tarmac.
Talking of Northampton, we're getting on to the European Championship weekend.
Riley, this is
my personal
yours.
favourite weekend of the
year. The personal one.
My favourite one, but just because 1 local, 2 I just love the European. Weather was perfect. Weather was perfect Saturday because it was like an afternoon 2:00 start. It was a bit more gloomy on the Sunday, but it was dry, which was the main thing. F2s, I think that was the weekend Jack Witts returned from his ban. I think that's when Jack returned in a beautiful new car or refurbed car. Ginch won the final, which was the Steve Green Memorial, and he won the final on the Sunday as well. I think he got heat in final on Sunday. Beat Gordon in the Saturday final when Gordon could have gone a last bend lunge, but I think a lapped car got in the way. The European was a bit tame for the win. Chris Burgoyne just drove away from pole, but Josh Rayner I think started 31st and finished second. That's probably one of the drivers of the season.
Josh Rayner is an absolute pilot.
Oh, on Shale, he's
one of the most underrated drivers in the entire sport. Josh Rayner.
That drive was.
What number
I think
is?
I had some of his fans
next driver. I don't think I've ever seen him race.
414, Josh Rayner.
414.
Oh yeah, he was at Lynn recently.
Yeah.
At the last
he won.
meeting. Yeah,
he won heat. But that drive was incredible. Unfortunately for Ginch, as we talked about, his championship luck. I think he pulled off lap 2 or 3, which is unfortunate because he won the finals. You're thinking he's favourite. Gordon, I think, came from like mid-pack to finish 4th. I think Ricardo Smith finished 3rd to defend his title, which was unfortunate. He could have took it back to the Netherlands. F2's a pretty solid. Jack Wicks rolled it after coming back, which wasn't pleasant.
Oh yeah,
I'm just looking at the thumbnails, and he did roll it in one of them.
Yeah, he rolled it on the Saturday final, I think it was. But yeah, that destroyed a nice looking car, but it was all good. Saloons made their first European weekend appearance. They were not that great, to be honest, but there was that Cowden beef, I think, weren't they, the same weekend?
Wasn't this the meeting just after Willie Scoyles had just returned at Skeg?
Yeah, because Willie Scoyles was pretty much on pace and almost won pretty much.
No, Willie Scoyles did Skeg, then he did Lynn, and then he did Northampton.
Yeah, but Saloons weren't that good, to be honest. I think there was a Cowden beef on the same weekend.
They didn't get enough
championships.
They had their moments though. Like on the Sunday, you had Carl Boswell and Tommy Barnes get airborne.
Yeah, they had moments, but overall, it wasn't too. It was okay. For Saloon standards, it weren't great.
Yep.
But F1's was they the Formula of the weekend or was it F2's? It's very close because F1 started as they meant to go on.
I haven't seen much of the European weekend, so this is
It started on Saturday. They heavily watered the track. It was too watered. So you had Tom, Frank, I think Frank was in that one, Charlie and Lee all together in the same heat, and there was no grip. It was too wet. I think Tom was spun out when second at one point. They still recovered to 4th after Lee and Charlie got tangled on the last bend. Ryan Harrison, once again, one of the fastest. Just one of the fastest on track. He took the European on Sunday after a small battle with Frank, but it wasn't too much. Tom wasn't really on pace that weekend. Like Tom Wesby know it. It was a bit off the pace. Ryan was the fastest by a mile. But Charlie Sauter then had a brilliant win on Saturday in the final. He just picked his way through so perfectly, just got away from everyone. Then there's a late caution, and you think Ryan Harrison's got him, and he just drove away. I've never seen, even in the 22 World Final, I've never seen Charlie drive that fast. It was really good to see.
I wish I was there to see that. I like Sauter.
Yeah, that was one of my personal favourite Charlie Sauter wins. That was a mega drive. And not much really happened. Well, at least when I was there, I missed the Grand National, unfortunately, which was Tom v Frank, and I saw videos back. That was an epic battle. It's perfect. 2 top quality drivers, just knowing exactly what to do, when to do it. And then last bend decider. It was brilliant battle. I wish I caught that, but unfortunately I didn't.
Yeah, gutting. But
yeah,
is that you done with the European?
I'm trying to think. Was there more? There was a rollover, but especially on my bend that no one saw because it was in the constellation. There was about 40 cars, so no one saw that. There wasn't that much massive hits. Craig Finnegan last bend on Ryan Harrison. Yeti Tesla was rapid as he normally is. He almost lost a heat win because he slid across the line too much.
Yellow my star.
That was pretty much it for European, but it was a quality weekend. Can't wait for next year.
On to the next savage meeting. Saloon National, 3000 British and unlimited bangers at Kings Lynn. What a meeting that was. The Saloons were insane. You had...
It looked very good from where I was
in-
sitting.
in
I'd
the-
sit at home and watch it on live stream.
In the first two heats, well, in the first heat you had Sean Chaplin, I think his name is, roll over, courtesy of Tommy Barnes, went up the wall and just kind of grip rolled. And then in the second heat you had Joe Gladden go upside down. I didn't quite catch it, but I imagine he just got pushed up the wall by a bunch of cars and he just went over. Bunch of cars involved in that. That was good. And then you had quite a few big hits in there as well. No, it's not the meeting I'm thinking of, sorry. But yeah, no, you had a lot of good moments. The national championship race itself was fantastic. You had Allard Santry, you had a bunch of other people in there scrapping for the win. Timmy Barnes was putting the bumper in, Allard was flying in with the hits, and then I think Allard got taken out by Timmy Barnes. Barnes fell back, there was a lot of stuff going on in and out of the pack, and Santry just picked his way through. He managed to get away from everybody. The bumper was still going in. I don't know if Chevelle was in that fight somewhere, but yeah, there was quite a few cars in the scrap. I think Wes Starmer was in there.
Wes is everywhere. I'm sure he was.
Yeah, Wes is always at the front of a championship, but yeah, Santry finally won a major championship, won the national, the Gold
Hallelujah.
Stripe. It was a very good meeting for them, the Saloons, very action-packed. And Willie Scores was there as well, his second meeting back in a Saloon stock car after Skegness the week before. So that was good to see him back. He did quite well. Scores was towards the front of the national championship. I think he got a second in his first heat. And yeah, he did a good job just keeping consistent. He got taken out in the national championship though, sadly, so he couldn't get a good result. But quite a few good moments in there as well. So yeah, and then we moved to the 1300s. I can't remember too much about these. I think there was a big moment between John Klin and not Barry Russell, bloody Carl Waterfield, where they both went into the wall really, really hard. You had I think it's Dean Moat go up the wall on turns 1 and 2, courtesy of Nathan Furlow and John Moat and the rest of the others in there as well. They had their moments. Lee Pearce had a very, very good meeting. You had a lot of the Speedworth guys there. Lee Pearce was absolutely flying. And I think he was under fire from Tyler Bloomfield, I think, in that race. And Lee Pearce, he was under fire from a lot of people. There was a big scrap, but then Lee Pearce drove away from everybody once the track dried up, and Lee Pearce won the British Championship. I can't remember an awful lot from the 1300s at that meeting, but it was...
I think that was one Tebbs missed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think he had to do something, so I missed it.
Yeah, Tebbs missed it. Yeah, the Speedworth guys were on it, though. It was very lively for the 1300s. I just can't remember a lot from it. But then you
So
have...
long ago now,
Yeah.
like, oh, what happened?
I really need to do my research on this stuff, man, for these sort of streams. But then you also had
Yeah.
the Unlimited Bangers
So
on
do
as
I.
well. You had Callum White go after the Barrow boys. That was entertaining to watch. Callum White
He got
going to war
bored,
with
didn't
everyone.
he?
Yeah, he got bored and he went after the Barrows. And I think the war still goes on, so that'll be funny. And then... yeah, you also had the Supras in the Destruction Derby. You had Johnny James and Big Al, Alex Utting, going at each other. They both snapped off their Supras in the DD. You had a massive following that I missed, which I'm gutted about, where a car got hit, like ran into the wall in 1 and 2, flipped over, went back on its wheels. I was gutted I missed that. But yeah, that was roughly all to report from there. And then we have probably one of my favourite meetings I filmed this year. One of those underrated meetings that just was a masterpiece, in my opinion. Apart from what happened at the end, Brooks Bilge Bonanza. What a meeting.
That was a good meeting. I was there for that.
I think that was on Easter weekend for some reason.
Yeah,
For some reason, I thought that was Easter weekend. I was going to say, why have we gone back to Easter? I was
we've
like, oh, no, wait,
covered
it's-
that.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna say, wait, it's after Europe.
I was about to
Brooks-
say we're getting near enough halfway through the year now. Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
some
taken a
reason, I
while.
really thought Brooks Bilge was Easter. I was like, what?
Brooks Bilge was earlier on in the year. Oh, sorry, later on in the year, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Things to pick out from this. Obviously, Stu Brooks, it's his meeting. He came out with 3 cars. Yeah, 3 cars. He had like a weird, like, boxy thing, big Japanese thing for the micros.
I think it was a Suzuki something.
Yeah, and then he had a
Which is
caval.
Suki Swift.
He had a caval.
Yeah,
He
something
had
like
a.
that.
It wasn't a Swift.
It wasn't a Swift, mate.
He had a Cavalier for the 2 litres, and for the 1600s he had a Mini Cooper, which I think he had a good day in the micro bangers, but in the other 2 formulas he had no luck. But yeah, no. Stu Brooks, just a truly special man, and he had a special meeting. It was really good, and it's returning next year, which I'm buzzing for. But yeah, no.
More SORUK content. Come
Yep.
on.
You had the jacking train in the 2 litre bangers with Spuds Hurst getting splintered by Meerkat. You had a couple Cavaliers going there. Kieran Bowman with the Bluebird, he went in a treat. And then, yeah, everybody just piled in. And then Stu Brooks got ran in the same race. One of my favourite shots of the year at the end of the meeting was the follow-in on one of the blue and black guys into that Almera at the end of the straight, courtesy of Brad Bartram. That was insane. If it wasn't for all my mates cheering, all of you lot cheering in front of me, I wouldn't have caught that.
You say all you lot. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was there, and I tell you what, the ground shook. I turned my head slightly, and literally all you see is a car get followed in, and then you see one roll over. He lands back on his wheels though, and he double thumbs up to the marshal, and we're like, "What the hell? How in the world
I
are
think
you
that's
still sitting there?"
I think that's one of a few times I've ever been jump scared by a crash, because I was looking at the 2 cars that got folded in, that 106 on top of the 112 car. I hear you guys going, "Oh, oh," and then I turn the camera and I just hear bang. Just caught it on camera, massive following into the back of the guy that was sat up, and then he later took a shot by Alfie, saw him through the back wheel, and he still kept the thumbs up. That was insane. And then obviously you had the big.
That was a really good meeting.
You had the big pile up in front of us in the 1600s, where you had Daniel something, number 7, do Shippy on the nose, end of the straight. I just missed that, but that was a hard hit. But yeah, that was a sick day, and I can't wait for it again. That is one of them underrated meetings that I just loved filming. One of my favourite meetings I filmed all year. And then we go to 2 litre banger War of the Worlds next with Jack Rookard's Ford Cougar that got snapped to bits, and then he rebuilt it, got it back out for the DD. Fair play. Probably some of the best pit work we've seen all year. And then you had Brad
We've done too many meetings.
Yeah, we have. And then Brad Bartram got snapped off in the DD as well. That thing just folded in half. I think it was like a Vectra or something like that he raced. That was quite cool. And then Unlimited Banger War of the Worlds. Now Alfie Nottingham makes his debut.
Yeah, I got it
No,
wrong.
gosh.
I'm sorry, guys. Alfie Nottingham, you have to agree, he was apparently one to watch when he made his debut into the Unlimiteds, turning up with a completely fresh Jag, all sign written. Everyone took photos of it, making replica skins for games with it, honestly. And the fact that he put it to such good use was unbelievable. We even had a team from the Netherlands come and join us.
Yep.
Um,
Fair play to them, because they had
What
Emin
else?
teams the week after.
Yeah, they did, which, to be fair, is dedication at its finest, I say.
Turn up with
for something
4
like that.
freshly sign-written cars, and then go to Emin the next week.
Yeah.
That must cost a lot.
Spud turned up on his own. Jordan Sharp, I believe, was on his own as well.
Yep.
What else?
I think.
Oh no, it was
Sharp.
Spud and Nate.
Yeah, Spud and Nath, they tried to qualify for the World of Shale, which they did. But yeah, no. Number 7 is Daniel Bitson. Cheers, Leoma. Appreciate that. I thought I knew the name. I just forgot it. But yeah, no.
Also, as well, I'm just looking through some of the videos. Even though Licorice changed colours from obviously his normal colours to Aftermath, he still got stuck in with plenty of the action. By the looks of it, turns 1 and 2, he was literally anything he saw that was moving, he hit it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had Ashland Wood's massive rollover in the heat where Callum White did the Dutchman, and then Ashland just got clipped by the rear wheel of the rotating Volvo, and he went for a wild flip.
Literally, it's a highlight I will never forget, because you literally just turn your head and you're like, oh, roly-poly time, hello.
Yeah. Right, I know I uploaded this video very late, but we're going to come to this before mine and Riley's favourite weekender. Let's go to
Yeah, but-
Milton. Let's go to Milton Hall for the Formula Ones. I filmed the Formula Twos and the Saloons as well, but I don't know what happened to the footage. I think it just corrupted itself. But the F1s were savage. Probably one of the more savage
And
meetings I've seen from them.
that meeting, I think I'm correct, marked the debut of I say Catherine Harris Shale machine,
Yep.
because that's as some of you may know, that's not Tom's Shale car, it's Catherine's,
Mm.
but he's used it this year.
And that might have been
Yeah,
That might have been one of Tom's worst meetings ever in
Oh,
his
it's horrible.
career. Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
awful.
he turned up late, didn't he? He
Yeah.
turned up
Oh,
late.
he always
and got
does.
to
It's
the
He
Tom,
last
he always
heat.
does.
He missed his heat. He did the consolation.
Yeah,
And then a flipping tyre broke or something.
no, he
arm.
got flicked towards the wall after 7 laps, and then his steering completely just,
Yeah, that was
he
it.
just wouldn't steer at all.
Straight into turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, it
Oh,
broke
mate,
it broke the steering
I
box,
was
so he was it
Yeah.
broke the steering box, so he was wrote off for the day. But and then
Was that
you
the
had
day Jack France outran like Polly and
Yeah.
someone else in the heat?
yeah, Jack France
Yeah.
around Milton Hall is unbeatable. Jack
They-
France is a
I
demon
wish
around
she
there.
was constantly on that pace because
Yeah.
it's quality.
He was unbelievable around Milton Hall, and also you had quite a few big massive moments. You had 145 debut his new car. He completely destroyed it in his heat. Hit the wall on the back straight, ripped a chunk out of the wall and climbed it, and then rolled himself over. That was a big moment. And then
Don't have
obviously,
to worry about that wall next year.
don't forget as well. I think that was the debut meeting of Adam Joyce's new Shale car.
Oh, what, the blue
Wasn't there
and grey
saloons
one?
on for
Yeah.
that meeting as well, James?
Yeah, there
What?
was.
What's that, Josh?
There was saloons on for that meeting
Yep.
at Milton, weren't there? Where
that was-
Nick and Levi ended
that
up having a
was-
bit of a
yeah.
war.
That was the start
On
of
the
that
right.
war. Yeah, and then Nick got on top of his car and did the chicken taunt at Levi.
Well, at the end of the day, if you're going to be a chicken, you're going to get the chicken dance. What do you
It's
expect?
not the first time the chicken was seen this year.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, there's been plenty of chicken moments.
I
Yep.
mean, we obviously didn't go to it, but there's one meeting where the chicken came out that we have to talk about.
Oh,
I
yes.
can't wait.
But yeah, no. Another moment. The F2s I remember at this meeting. I am so gutted I didn't upload the F2. I'm so gutted the F2 footage just died because the F2s stole the show that day. They were absolutely epic. Probably the best F2 meetings of the year. And yeah, you had at the start of the meeting you had Liam Rennie destroy the wall in the first heat. He was on his own. He just overdrove it into the wall, got airborne, and then you had a great race between Charlie England and Greg McKenzie. That was a good race between them two. The F2 final was good, but it started raining. You had some good battles up and down the pack, and it was just a good day for the F2s. And then, yeah, obviously the Saloons had their moments with Antwerpen and Levi List. Yeah, just overall a really good meeting, and I can't wait until the 12th of April when they return at Milton Hall. It's going to be epic. And now, Riley, time to get Josh. Time to put your feet up.
Oh,
Well, no,
again,
didn't Josh go though? Didn't Josh go?
Yeah, Josh went, but this is obviously our element.
oh, what, the UK weekend?
Yeah,
Speed weekend, yeah.
Wasn't this the
Technically-
debut of
Technically, it was the second biggest weekend at Skeg, but
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with the speed weekend.
Oh, UK Speed
Wasn't
Weekend
this
is just
the
amazing.
debut, just to start off with, wasn't this the debut of Matt Newson's brand new tarmac
Mm.
car?
Yes, it was. It was also the debut of Frankie JJ's new car. And Nigel,
Oh,
tell you
and
what,
Nigel Green
What
returned.
machine.
Mate,
Oh yeah,
I'll
Nigel
tell
Green
you
in the J
what,
Davidson car. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Matt Newson's and Frankie Jr. car, sex
Yeah.
on wheels, mate.
Mhm.
JJ's was. I love that car so
I
much.
love that car
It's such
so
a
much.
low rider.
It looks
it's
like
like
a go-kart.
2001-esque.
It looks
Oh,
like
it's
something
a
you'd see in
smooth
America.
operator.
And he won the race with it. Same with Matt, straight out the block.
This stream is making me realise just how much has happened this year. Yeah, 2024 was a good year. Yeah, 2024 was mental. When you do like 50 odd meetings a year, there is a lot to talk about.
Was it
With
this Saturday? Matt Newson and Ant Walton Hills decided to have their first moment at Skeg this
By the
year.
looks of this thumbnail,
Yeah.
they were side by side for quite a long time. I'm guessing.
Oh,
But
it was back and forth like fastest laps for like
can we
7-8
talk
laps
about
straight.
Thursday first? Because Thursday was
Oh
savage.
yes, I forgot Thursday existed. To be fair,
Oh yeah, the Thursday one. My bad.
I forgot Skeggy done Thursdays.
Well, they do a Thursday weekend, then they do another Thursday, and then they call that their
Thursday
sweet week.
Skeg, Sunday, then back to Thursday. Speed
Yeah,
week.
so Thursday you had, I think it was Shea Fagan and Gordon Moody went to war with each other. You also had the Dutchman as well, the H40 went to war with Fagan, because Fagan was
Not the
just
first
trying to
time
run
Fagan
everyone
went
in.
to war.
Yep, exactly.
Boo,
Moody
Fagan, boo.
Moody pushed.
Only time we're going to be biased in it.
Yeah,
Oh god.
here we go. Here we go. We're gonna lose a bunch of
Oh, come
followers.
on.
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
no.
Irish people.
Yeah, sorry, Irish fans. But yeah, no, Moody pushed Shea Fagan all the way down the straight. That was funny. And then,
That shot of that, you just see him turn right.
yeah.
I think he just got caught up
You
and then
also
just
had
pushing all the way around. It's
you
like-
also had the new Irish champion 387 climb over the top of one of the Dutch boys in his heat. That was
Oh, yeah.
that was also another jump scare moment. I was just looking at the back straight and you just see a car go airborne in front of the camera and I'm like, whoa! Went on
Yeah,
top
because
of
I
him.
remember trying to make the thumbnail for that, and I'm like, I really want to use this, but like the camera frame
Because
isn't that
it
great.
happened so quick. It just
Yeah, exactly.
Who Charles? Wait, is this actually Charlie Ginchard in chat?
Yeah.
I think it is. Who?
We
Yeah,
don't know
exactly.
Who, we don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
who.
we don't. We
Just
don't.
saying.
Yeah, we don't know who.
Did
We
I
don't
just
know
hear
who.
that right? Have we got the real number one in the chat?
It might be him.
I know Josh is just
Go on,
gonna like
Ginch.
that.
Good boy.
Go
It's
on,
the only
boy.
time SORUK's ever biased.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing the
We are-
post after Northampton after the meeting. I was like, I really don't. I don't want to be biased because like we're not a biased channel. It's like,
Where
I'm
are
gonna
you-
have to be. I'm gonna have to
We-
be biased.
I mean, it's in the name, for the fans, by the fans. We're not officials. We're fans.
Yeah, true.
We have
Yeah,
opinions.
true. It's
So,
the
yeah,
only time I'm
exactly.
not biased. The only time I'm not biased.
Big
I
up
mean,
the
I am
Ginch.
biased is on that topic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm this
just
is
looking
Charlie.
at some of these.
Yeah, this is
I'm just
Ginchard
looking
in
at some
chat.
of. I'm just looking at some of these thumbnails, James. The
Mm.
Dave Garner Memorial. So that was obviously on the Saturday, wasn't it?
Yes, Dave got no. That
Yeah.
was Thursday. That was Thursday.
Oh, that was a Thursday. Well, by the looks of it, who the hell was that got rattled by one of the
Oh,
sheds?
Luke Grief. Luke
Luke
Grief.
Grief returned after how long of not racing?
4 years? 3 years?
Something like that. Luke Grief returned. He got rattled by Cheval. I think that broke his ribs. That following did.
Rattled.
Yeah, that was under caution as well, wasn't
That
it?
was under
Mate,
caution. Yeah.
there's literally sparks in the centre of the thumbnail. It looks like he's on fire. If anything,
got-
Oh, mate,
ran
as
in
soon as
flat out.
James sent me that photo, I was like, well, that's the thumbnail. So I
Yeah.
had to edit it slightly so you can see the sparks a bit more. I was like,
Yeah.
it has to be the thumbnail.
See, that's the thing with my camera. It has very good image quality, but when it comes to like actual like moving quality, like how smooth the video is, it's just not that great.
blurry.
It's like the shutter speed isn't that great, so sometimes it comes out as a bit blurry, but I am trying to fix that. I sometimes have to edit the photo to make it look as good as possible.
But then again, you can't blame the formula. It's Saloons.
It's
Let the
Saloons.
But
sparks
again,
fly.
James, you say that about the photo quality. We're going for videos, not photos, to be fair. So
Yeah. Understandable, but yeah, no, that was savage from Cheval. Ran in Luke Grief a treat, and then Luke Grief hit somebody on the nose straight afterwards, and yeah, there was a lot that happened before that as well. I think that was the meeting. Ian Govia broke his back as well. He hit someone on the nose because it started raining. Lost grip, hit someone on the nose, it broke his back. So, not a great day for injuries, unfortunately, but it was a savage meeting. Grim weather, but you know, sunny Skeg Vegas.
it's Skeg.
Yeah.
Who cares about the weather at Skeg? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It
Mate,
was
James,
sick.
when I first went with you to the UK Weekender, it was slightly raining, and didn't it finish at like nearly 2 o'clock in the morning? Like the next morning.
that was the Saturday.
Yeah, last year.
That was a good year, I think, because we were like, we feel tired, but we want to stay out because
It reminded me of like 2019 F2 World Final. It's like at Bucks, and it's like they need the Grand National ran, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, can we do it anyway? Just get it done with.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll stay up. We'll watch it.
Me and James were literally sat there talking to a load of Scottish people, and they were just sat there drinking away. And I said to James, I said, I feel tired. but
I want to stay up.
I just want to stay up and watch the race. And he went,
right.
well, I
We
need
have
to get
got
the video footage.
right. Sorry to interrupt. We have got to talk about Bim on here because Bim,
Oh, Bim.
yeah,
Bim is brilliant.
the
One of
Mexican
the
hat.
highlights
The
of the
Mexican
UK.
hat came out once again. He was trying to get the whole stadium to do the Mexican wave. He was successful last year. Couldn't do it this year, sadly. Boring spectators, but no, Bim is the GOAT of UK Speed Weekend. We have to talk about him on this channel because he is a legend. Bim, if you are watching this, I salute you so much and I hope we see you again at UK Speed Weekend next year. Absolute legend.
He'll be there.
Mm.
Sure,
Trust
he'll be
me,
there.
Riley. He is an entertainer of the He is like He's like the entertainer of the spectating world. He is one of them where he wants to have a good time, but there's always one little thing that will make him stick out from the rest. And that Mexican wave, I believe, didn't we get it to go around 5 laps of the raceway the first year?
The first year, I think we did
5
3.
laps.
No, we did like 3 or 4 laps, I think. But this year
3
we
or 4
couldn't.
laps
We
it went
couldn't.
round.
We couldn't get it to work. No, the front straight wouldn't do it. We got the whole bend to do it, but yeah,
The bend, not the whole stadium.
no,
Oh, mate.
that was
It was
an awesome weekend.
heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
And obviously, during this weekend, we had the whole stuff with like the end of the Euros going on. So all the Scottish people were like chanting for
don't.
England to lose and stuff.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Don't
game.
take me
No.
back.
No, but yeah,
Look,
no.
Don't
at the
take
end of,
We don't like to go back
That
to
was great.
Taunton. Don't take me back to flipping
Yeah.
Euro
But
final.
yeah, no.
Right, at the
Let's
end
go.
of the day,
Let's move to
boys.
Saturday.
I was about to say, boys, there's one thing we can all agree on. We would rather go and watch stock car racing than
Exactly.
watch guys kick around
Yeah.
the ball all day.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
There you go
Saturday.
then.
Depends who wins.
Saturday. Saturday again, heartbroken. Most of the footage corrupted, so I couldn't use the Saloon or F2 footage. But the F1 footage is up there, and the F1s were absolutely brilliant from start to finish. You had Kyle Gray winning the trust fund. He did a fantastic slide at the end of the race. Got some great photos of that. You had, I think Catherine came second. She almost defended it, but in the end she came second to her boyfriend.
Finally back in her car, I think as well.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause
She
Tom
was
didn't
in
race
her.
that weekend.
She was in her car, and yeah, they both did fantastic. They were on rails all weekend long, and then Lee Fairhurst.
Partners in crime.
Yeah, Nigel Green returned. He was good. He was pretty good. Obviously not as good as he used to be because it's been a few years, but he was good on that weekend. Frankie JJ getting some good results in the new car as well. Matt Newson at the start of the day couldn't get to grips with the car. He kept getting unlucky. Got caught up in a big pile up with Jack France, Carl Gray and them lot. And Jack
Did
France
he miss the final?
I think he did. I don't know, but then in the Grand National he had some luck and the car was flying.
Oh, dialed.
Yeah, dialed in. Obviously, Lee Fairhurst won the final. Lee Fairhurst was on rails too. But Matt Newson and Antwater Neals in that Grand National was fantastic to watch. Them two going at it. And Matt Newson with a beautiful last bend lunge punts him out wide and one of the closest finishes we've seen all year. Matt Newson, Antwater Neals, nose to tail to cross the line. Matt Newson getting the win in the Grand National. His first win in the new tarmac car, and that thing was absolutely flying.
I mean, it's one thing to catch Ant when he's winning on tarmac. It's another thing to pass him and to do it, like stick with him for that amount of time and then actually get him on the last bend. And the car was perfect.
And to do it at Skeg as well. One of his best tracks.
And
that was
catching
amazing.
Ant at Skeg is like trying to hunt down Tom at Kings Lynn.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's rare. It's very rare.
Whilst there's no footage from it because the footage died, one of the hire car drivers, one of Billy Smith's hire car drivers, had the worst day I think a stock car driver can ever have. He rolled over in one of the heats, number 700, got battered about quite a bit. There were some hard hits going in, some big pile-ups, but it was a lot more tame than last year. And everyone made it through cleanly. Rowan Vennoy and Wes Starmer both having absolutely brilliant days. I think they both won 2 races, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. I think Wes only won one, though.
I think
Hang
Wes
on.
won 2.
Did I just hear that right? Did you just say stock cars were tame?
Saloons on the Saturday were pretty tame. Aaron
I was about to
Cooper's,
say.
Aaron Cooper's asking if you're here, Josh.
I was about to say, say that again?
Aaron Cooper.
Oh, okay. I was about to say the Saloon's tame. What the hell were you watching? Because at the end, I'm quite a big Saloon fan now. Because
Yeah.
no thanks to you guys, you kind
Yeah.
of got me hooked on it.
Yeah,
But
boy.
the Saloons, I think personally, were the highlight of the weekend
Oh
in
yeah,
my
obviously
view.
they are. Yeah, they are. But on the Saturday, in my opinion, compared to previous UK Speed weekends, they were pretty tame compared to usual. But they were
The,
still good. They were still good.
the Sunday though,
Mm.
oh brilliant!
That UK Open race, Jesus.
That was
Alfie
insane.
Aldous winning the UK, and then Diggy Smith being embedded in the fence.
I've never
I
seen
thought I was never making it past the first turn.
Yeah. It has been a very, very long time since I've seen a stock car look that broken in person. I think the last time I saw a car that destroyed was 2011 Scott Aldridge at Kings Lynn when he was upside down and got hit on his roof. That's the last time I saw a car that broken. But Diggy Smith's car, that was totaled, obliterated. And then you had I think it's Kai Gilmore, hit the tyre. He went airborne on top of like two cars, went into the wall. I thought he was going in the crowd.
I tell you, what was it? Allard made a lot of friends, didn't he? He actually put what's his name, Brad 902.
Yeah, he ran Brad Compton in, and then Dean Mays and Jeremy van der Kratz went together all weekend. Dean Mays absolutely thundered Jeremy in on turns 1 and 2 in the Raymond Gunn Memorial.
Oh, I think the stream missed that, but I think the
Raymond
replays
Gunn
were just
Memorial. I love that watching that. Like
Yeah,
from
that was
start to
great.
finish, even when they're pulling the cars out, like listening to the bagpipes and the guy obviously playing.
Yeah.
I'm not. I know Scotland get battered everywhere they go, but come on, it's a good. It's there are some things they do that are just memorable.
Didn't Chevelle win that as well?
think
I
so.
think he did.
Yeah. So
F2
really,
UK Open
Scotland
was a bit.
batter us everywhere we go.
Well, clearly
No,
they come over here and they dominate. I mean, come on, look at last year, Northern Ireland taking loads of world finals from us. I was like, no, come on.
Yeah, but no, UK Speed Weekend delivered once again. The F2s on the Sunday were fantastic. You had a great move from 285, I forgot his name. I think he came from Mini Stocks not too long ago, but 285 put the bumper in on who would have been world champ. I forgot his name, 127.
Matt Stoneman.
Matt Stoneman, that's it. And beautiful last bender on him to take the win in one of the heats on the Sunday. And 285 and 501 both had a great weekend. They both started on the front row. And then Aidan Grindy, my boy, Aidan Grindy, went home to win the UK Championship. And keep in mind, last year's UK Speed Weekend in 2023 was his first ever stock car meeting or weekend. He started on pole for the main race. I think got taken out or something or fell back, obviously, because it was his first weekend. He was flying on that weekend as well. But then 1 year later, after his debut, he goes and wins the UK Championship. Fair play to him. He's the boy.
Where's the British next year? Because I think he could, if it's tarmac, he could have a shout at it.
Absolutely, yeah. He's one of the better drivers.
Oh, it's in Northern Ireland, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
So if he goes, he could have a shout. But
Yeah.
the UK race for F2s started with about 8 cars going before the line. Ginch didn't. I don't know if he had a problem or something, but he didn't start where he lost. He didn't get up to speed straight away, and then just pile up happened.
Ginch got ran in by a bunch of people. Moody was involved in the same pile up as
Yeah,
well.
Gordon was him.
You had another car on top of somebody. I think it was
Stoneman not in it as well. I think.
I think
I can't even
Stoneman
remember. There's
might
so
have
much
been
in
in
it.
it. There was a yellow top on top of two cars. I know Moody and Ginch were in a pile up. Aidan Grindy was having a good race with one of the yellow tops. Or not one of the yellow tops, sorry, one of the blue tops. I think it was 285 or 980. 980 had a great weekend. He was towards the front of the grid. He won a couple races on the Saturday. And overall, the F2s were just really good once again. I think they were better than this year at UK Speed Weekend. But yeah, no, you had the F1s as well on the Sunday. Bit more tame on the Sunday this time. You had some bumpers going in. I can't remember an awful lot, but I know Matt Newson had another fantastic day. Won one or two races, and yeah, just overall topping off a really good UK Speed Weekend. Obviously, Alfie Aldous and Aidan Grindy getting the job done. Fantastic stuff for them. And we look forward to seeing them again trying to defend their titles in 2025 because well, they just put on a fantastic show, don't they? And now we can finally end the UK Speed Weekend talk.
Right, I think the next meeting we're on to, James, is the 1300, 1600s and junior, the 1300 stock cars at Lynn, with also 1600 and junior bangers, and also, by the looks of this, it was Brisker F1's Dave Lenon Memorial.
Ah, yes.
We're
I
gonna.
believe I was there. I
There's
believe I was there for that one.
right. There's not much to take from the domestic meeting at Lynn. The only thing I can think of is the Luke Jackson and Jacob Bromley war. They both started following each other in. I think that started at a previous meeting earlier in the year, but it really kind of came to fruition at that meeting at the end of July at Lynn. Bromley ran Luke Jackson in a few times, and yeah, I don't think Luke did anything back. I think he tried to brake check him at one point, but yeah, I don't know. But Dave
I believe I was there for that meeting, when I, James.
I don't know, mate. It's a domestic meeting. I don't remember it. All I remember from the 1600s is Joel Allen's massive rollover, and then also Nicky Bishop's big shot on one of the on a Mark IV Astra right in front of me. That was a nasty shot from Bishop, end of the straight. But let's have a quick gloss over the Dave Lenon Memorial. Liam Gilbank rolled over at this meeting. I think. Did he? Yeah, I think he did.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I
I
remember.
know it was started. The track started a bit poor condition, but then it got better.
It hammered it down at the start of the meeting. The track was all sloppy. Adam Joyce won the whites and yellows. Tom Harris was on good form again. Polly was doing bits, and Callum Gill was doing bits as well. I think Callum Gill was really good on this day.
Yes, I was there for that meeting, James, because it was when Polly and Callum Gill were having a battle for about 7 laps, and me and you were having our little bicker about it.
Yeah, exactly. Callum Gill was doing
Yeah.
bits at this meeting. I think he did
We
win a
glossed
race.
over the bit where this is now into the season where Tom takes over,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
also partly because his main contender decided to get a 12-month ban after the British Championship.
Yep,
So that blew competition out the water.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think there was much competition after that.
Yeah, Tom at this point on is just in full control, and this is roughly the start of the construction of his tarmac car as well.
Roughly,
Yeah,
I think maybe a bit later, maybe like
it was the end of
middle
July.
of August,
But
start of August.
now that we're over the Dave Lenon Memorial, let's go on to one of my favourite weekends I filmed this year, the semi-final weekend and the Saloon European at Kings Lynn.
The best day, the Saturday, the best day.
The Saturday was really good. The Sunday was alright, but the Saturday was just fantastic. Tom Harris in full control. Maximum overdrive Tom Harris in the semi-final. Ran away from everybody even when the track was wet. Once the track dried out, no hope for anybody. He was gone.
If we get that Tom next year's World Final, it's so over for
It's
everyone.
so over, yeah. Because he was
That's
gone.
not even the best moment was, especially from my point of view, watching the live stream. Obviously, it was quite a messy race. You don't really know who's where, apart from the top 3. And you have to wait for the results to see who's made it. And in his final semi-final attempt, Paul Harrison 10th, that erupted my household. So I was really happy about that one. Make it one more time.
Lee Fairhurst had issues in the race, so he retired. But a very big surprise from this race was, for a very long time, Liam Gilbank was second. So he would have been on the second row, but then he got caught up in a bunch of traffic and he rolled over for a second time at Kings Lynn. And he has had no luck at Kings Lynn at all this year. So
I'd say a bigger surprise was from nowhere, Finn Sargent gets on the podium to
Finn
start
Sargent.
row 2 on the World Final grid.
Yep, Finn
That,
Sargent.
to me, I was more surprised at that than Jack France winning the semi-final last year, to be fair.
But Liam Gilbank for a long time was running second, and I was surprised by that. And it was
he was fast. Yeah.
It was a good race. Fairhurst retired, and But then also you had you had a load of Dutch drivers come over. Richard Faulkner, respect. You had a couple Dutch saloon drivers come over, like 321. He had a bit of a mid-weekend, to be honest, but he did manage to qualify for the European, just about. But, no, the F1s were fantastic. All the Dutch were on it. And, is it Wib de Vries 618?
Weber de Vries, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not too sure.
Was there no Jarno van der Vondervoort, that one?
Jarno van der
No.
Vondervoort, he was there, I think.
Oh, he was there.
Yelly won a heat from the last bender. I
Yeah,
believe.
Yelly won a lot of races over that weekend.
Yeah, Yelly was absolutely rapid, but Jarno van der Vondervoort was there. I don't think he had much luck, but he was there, and we love saying his name. So, Jarno van der Vondervoort, if you are watching this stream right now, I'm going to do a lovely
Yeah.
chant for you. Jarno van der Vondervoort! There you go.
There we go.
You have been appeased. You have been appeased. Enjoy your time,
Get a
good sir.
t-shirt.
Much love. I need to make a t-shirt of that, of just a big old Jarno van der Vondervoort!
No spaces at all.
No
Just all
spaces.
together.
Yep.
Then we get to the Sunday of that weekend, where
Whoa,
obviously...
whoa, you're getting ahead of
Oh,
yourself.
yes.
Oh no, the Saloons. I
Saloons.
forgot about the Saloons, my bad.
Remember that massive following from Alfie Aldous on Levi List in the final race, and Alfie Aldous
Oh.
took himself out and hit the tyre?
Not
you know
facts. I like them both.
Mm.
Oh, do you know what? If he'd have just made it stick, it'd have been a good following.
That
But
is-
the most
that-
embarrassing thing.
That is an underrated, probably one of the hardest hits of the entire year. How hard Levi hit that wall. I'm surprised he remained conscious. That man hit that wall a ton. The noise that made when he hit it. Fair play to him. Holding the throttle down, he rode the wall and managed to win that heat and got himself towards the front end of the European Championship. He had an alright weekend. I think he was just up to his usual antics again, which is always great to see. But yeah, no, that was a great effort from Alfie in that one. And then you had a bunch of other moments in that as well. Some good hits going in on the Saturday. I can't remember an awful lot from it because it was a while ago now. But yeah, no. And then you had the Sunday now where you had the F1s in good form. You had a big pile up. I think it was in the final. You had a big pile up right in front of me. And then Tom Harris got spun out quite a few times. Tom got in a lot of incidents over the course of this
Yeah,
weekend.
the Sunday wasn't his day.
Yeah, and then
Sunday wasn't his day because he got caught up with Yelly quite a bit. Because I was there Saturday.
yep, and then Tom got taken out on the Saturday as well because they were going 4-5 wide down the back straight, and he just came across a bunch of people, got taken out. But then also he got spun out in his heat. He got unlucky in the final with the pile up, and yeah, just not. Apart from the semi-final, not really his weekend.
I'm telling you one thing though, James. One of the most memorable things from that weekend was when I turned up on the Sunday and I saw that pile up with the Brisker F1s, and there was literally a 1-car gap. There was single file trying to slide through the fucking hole. Sorry for my language, but the hole in the middle of the pile up, and they're all trying to squeeze through. It was absolutely unbelievable. Just watching them all squeeze through. It was brilliant.
And then you have the Saloon European. You had six.
Oh.
I think you had 6 people or 8 people go through via the LCQ. One of the people going through was H321, the Dutchman. I don't know his name, but everybody loved that. The whole crowd was going nuts for him, and that was just nice to see. And then you had Archie Brown, the current world champion, on the front row alongside Luke Dorling. They both had good weekends. Simon Venai behind him. I think that's Jack Grandin on row 2 as well. You had Timmy Barnes, the man who defended his title after he won it at
It's quite a
Milton.
boring race, to be fair.
Yeah, it was
Back
a
to
boring
back.
race. It was a boring race, but Timmy Barnes, with pure domination, came from 5th to 1st and just defended his title with pure ease. He just drove away from everybody, and he is my pick for winning the Saloon World Final next year at Kings Lynn. Already.
That was also the debut, I believe, that weekend of Bowman in a Saloon stock car.
Nope, it was
That-
not.
Wasn't?
Josh
wait,
gets shut
it
down
was.
every time.
I think. Wait, did he? I don't know if it
Bowman
was
wasn't.
or not.
That,
I don't know if that was his debut though. I can't remember. I know he was in a saloon that weekend, but I don't know if that was his debut.
I think it might have been.
I don't know.
'Cause I'd never seen it before, so.
Hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, the
We'll
weather.
have to double check on that one.
Yeah. We're going to move now to August 17th at Kings Lynn, probably one of the better F2 meetings again throughout the year, where Sid
My birthday.
Madgwick won his first final. He had a very good day, Sid Madgwick. I think he placed well in his heats, and then
Go on, the boy.
in his heat, you had Ricardo Schmidt come over, to race, and he won the Grand National. You had that big rollover. You had a couple big rollovers, I think. You had a load of pile-ups. You had a big double rollover in the final, I think, or Grand National. 2-car rollover. Everybody just piled into each other. It was yeah, it was the Grand National, I think. Everybody just piled in. I don't know what they were on that night, but it was just really good to see them go. And to be honest, not many of the top boys were there. It was mainly whites and yellows. But
That's because also on that day was Venray World Cup, where Gordon Moody became, I think, the most successful World Cup winner in F2 history with his 6th, I want to say.
yeah,
Could be 5th, but he's won a fair few.
you didn't have many top drivers there. You had one, I think you had Macmillan there. You had, you had Ricardo Schmidt. You had, I think Greg McKenzie was there, but I don't know.
I think Greg was, because he didn't go Venray. I
No.
don't think.
But yeah, no, you had a ton of whites and yellows. There were still like 50 odd cars there, despite none of the top boys being there. But yeah, that was a good day. And then you had the Saloon stock cars, which were good. That was when Levi List picked a fight with the Barnes boys.
Bad move.
Yep, he went after
Move.
Harry. He went after Harry Barnes, and they threatened him in the pits afterwards, I think. Or I know I know one of the Barnes boys said to him at some point, like, "Don't hit us again." Then Levi ran in Harry Barnes a couple times, and then they had exchanges after the final.
That's
But-
racing.
Yeah, it's racing. It's stock car racing. It was good to watch, though. Very good to watch. And then the
The way I
60,
see it, keep track.
and then the 600 Banger East Anglian teams. You had that massive head-on from Lenny Merkin on Ryan Nibbs in the final. That was monstrous.
Didn't he get sandwiched as well with Alfie Cornish?
Yeah, he got sandwiched. Lenny Merkin came in flat out on the nose, folded his Mark IV Astra Estate like an accordion. That was insane.
I saw the photos of Ryan's car
Yep.
afterwards. It was washed.
Now we are getting into the juicy part of the year. World of Shale
Oh.
for the Unlimited National Bangers. One of the best photos I've ever taken. Ty Williams crossing the line to win the World of Shale Championship with his arm in the air and the checkered flags waving above his head. One of the best photos I've ever taken. And also the meeting
Can I
was
just
fantastic.
point out 48? Was it 48 or something on the grid?
47.
48.
Fo-
Yeah, 47th to first.
Yeah.
Name someone that could do it better.
Yeah, exactly. Ty Williams drove a masterclass. You had Harry Gelsthorpe, you had Ricky Finney at the front. You had a bunch of people fighting for it. Steve-O was coming back after getting spun out early on. Brad Bartram was leading a bit of it, then he got spun. Just a good banger. It was a good race. It was a good rodding race. And Runa decided to make things spicy by stopping a bunch of the leaders. Ty Williams sived on through, and Runa just held up Gelsthorpe a crazy amount. Blake Platts made his way through as well, just bulldozed through one of the Barrow boys trying to get through, and then there was a big moment where Steve-O and Harry Gelsthorpe and them lot got taken out because of Barrow's car that was there, and they just kind of got tangled, and that was that really. Ty Williams cruised to a victory to win the World of Shale from 47th on the grid. A stunning drive, one of the best drives of the year in my opinion. And then also
that was the debut of Cully's Yank, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It's been used for like 3 or 4 meetings now.
And then
I believe it's still going.
I think it's dead now, but
Oh.
you had Frenchie's limo as well. You can't forget about that.
Yeah, Frenchie's other. That was a Lincoln, wasn't it? Some Lincoln.
No, it was a Cadillac of
A
some
Cadillac.
sorts.
Oh, Cadillac limo, that was it.
Yeah, and then you had the driver that came from Wharton, that 06 with that beautiful Rolls Royce.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
then Tom Waller returned his Yank, didn't
Yeah,
he,
he
from
returned his
Waller
Yank.
Union?
James Licorice had a nice Jaguar XF. Who else?
Yeah.
I think my favourite car of that day was Steve-O's Frog. I don't know why, that just looked beautiful. And also,
By the looks of it, you had one of the Northern Irish boys, Hot Socks, come and join you as well.
Yep, you also had Davey O'Connor come over as well, I think. You had Shawnee Bell, you had a bunch of Irish people come over. You had the 28 from Northern Ireland come over.
It's one meeting I've never been to, James, and it's a meeting that I can now say I will have the pleasure of going to this coming year.
What?
World of Shale.
You've never been to a World of Shale before this year?
Never been. I've never been at all. Never been to the Unlimited World of Shale.
That shocks me. That really shocks me.
That's what happens when you have work like I did, mate. But now I've got every weekend off, all in meetings that are available. I will be going to, so there should be no excuse for it this year.
And European. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and European. Well,
Well,
actually, you should see me quite a few times at Northampton, Riley. So there's going to be a lot of Northampton.
Okay.
trips.
I'll bring my ear defenders in.
Oh, guys, watch out. The demolition icon is in the chat. Hello, Demo. How are you, mate? But
The
yeah,
Mr. Demolition Icon
no,
to you.
no, it's the demolition icon.
Oh, okay, right. I think we're getting on to
Yeah.
the highlight of Riley's year. Well, the
Yeah.
highlight of
The highlight
everybody's
of
year.
our year, the best weekend
The best
ever.
weekend of
Yeah.
the year,
The
hands down.
And the meeting I probably hated filming the most because I was in the most pain after filming it.
Well, I'd rather you film it
Yeah, exactly.
and it be crap than me film it and not film it.
As
at all,
much
because
as this
I would've done
meeting trumps everything else out of the water, including Kev Waller for me, I hated filming this race. It was F1 World Final weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry,
I'm
not
not
sorry.
filming World
I
Final.
know it's going to upset some people that I just said it's better than Kev Waller, but it is, alright?
There was two big things, obviously, with this weekend.
We
There was-
started Friday. Don't forget
well,
that.
actually, it was way before the Friday, if you remember. There was a
Oh, yeah,
big
it was
build-up with
Mid-August, was it?
yes, of the debut of what Tom Harris. He invited Timez, YouTube centre Mesverall, to come and join us for the Brisker F1 stock cars. And by the sounds of it, he doesn't want to do it again.
No. He liked the racing, he didn't like the hits.
Yeah, he can't
That's
handle the
fair enough. He's not from that. He's not from that.
Teamers,
Not
hire
from
out a
that,
national hot rod.
Yeah, do
I'll
that
tell you
instead.
what, I reckon he would like that. I reckon he would.
Also, the build-up also happened the week of the World Final. I think it was on the Thursday, maybe
Yeah.
earlier, of the reveal of the Tom Harris machine that he would defend his gold in. And I think me and James both agree with this. Josh doesn't. One of the most stunning cars I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I love it.
love
In
that
fact,
car.
It's beautiful.
Didn't like the design. If it would have been maybe
It's not just the shape of it; it's the design. I think it might have had some inspo from Gio Selzy's Knoxville car because it looks similar, but it's gorgeous. I love that
I
car.
love that car so much. I also love the engravings of like the Harris Motorsport on the bumper
yeah.
and the rest of the car. It looks so clean.
it's the attention to detail. That's what I think you guys like about
Yeah.
it. Literally, the odd little thing that you just notice. It just made the car for you guys just look brilliant.
It's one of the best tarmac cars I've ever seen.
It's also this. Do you want to talk about the Friday first, or shall we do the Saturday?
The only thing really was that Timez done a race in F2s. He was okay. Obviously, avoided contact, but he was okay. Debut of a new time trial for overseas. I didn't really understand it, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
It didn't really work. It didn't work. Obviously, I saw Josh before that, but I went and stood with our mate Harry from the Brisker F1 scene. It's an okay meeting. Saloons were quality.
Yep.
F2s were okay, but obviously not enough, not any F1 racing. But the time trials were, a bit confusing. I didn't really.
Alfie
get the point of that.
Alfie Aldous got ran in the saloons as well.
Yeah, there was 4 wide, like 2 rows back at one point.
Yeah.
There was a good meeting for saloons. Apart from that, I wish we had some F1 racing, but you can't.
Saloons
always
were the
have all of them.
highlight of the day on the Friday for
On
me.
Friday, yeah, saloons.
Yeah.
were the best.
Absolutely.
On
a Saturday, though.
You can't beat saloons at Skeg.
Oh no. Well, you can if it's a world final.
Mate, that world final race was unbelievable. One of the best, I think, in...
The only race I prefer over that was 2011, but that's for personal reasons.
Yeah, that world final was unreal. I think in terms of preparation and build-up for a meeting, out of probably close over 400 meetings I've ever been to in my life since 2011, that is the best meeting I think I've ever been to in terms of organisation.
It's the build-up as well.
The organisation, the build-up, and the buzz. Yeah,
They had
the
a
build-up
was
was
it
insane.
410 World Outlaw sprint car. They had all classic World Final winning cars. They
Yeah.
had a grid walk.
You had all
They
the
had
legends there: Andy
so much
Smith, Rob
stuff. It was
Speak, Peter
incredible.
Folding. You had all the
The only
legends there.
I didn't like about that World Final was the fact that Tom got his car fixed in time.
Yeah.
The bit before that, though, the best bit, in my opinion, like the best bit of the warm up, shall I say, 4 wide American style around
That
Skegness
was
Oh,
sick.
on the rolling lap.
That is
Best clip ever.
something that has to be done. They
I
have
love
to do
it.
it on tracks.
I loved it that much. It's the banner for this channel. It's amazing. I wish we did more of it.
Yeah,
You
that
only get it
was
in Skeg Vegas.
the consolation semi was a bit tame, but Lee Fairhurst cruised to victory to qualify for the world final and almost do what he did back in 2012. And
He
Oh,
couldn't
he was
do it,
rapid. If he did
unfortunately,
qualify from Lynn, there could have been a shout that he could have won it.
yeah,
He was rapid.
he was flying. But then also you had Rick Lenson doing bits as well. He was hitting everything. Frankie Wayman Jr. hitting everything.
If that didn't get red flagged, Rick Clenston would have been at least top 3 on a restart, and
Yeah,
he
I'll
has
tell you
pace
what,
at Skeg.
I definitely lost my voice after that weekend. The
Oh,
first
same.
2 laps after, well, at the start of the World Final race, Tom got rattled in the first bend, pile up,
New car
after he
destroyed.
got through, and then he got followed. He got flattened again into the pile up. Red flag comes out. The amount of repairs, I'll tell you what though, the amount of repairs Tom had to do to his car, and they got it done in
Oh, I
time.
don't know how
That
he
pit crew work. That is
not even got it
dedicated.
fixed, but I don't even know how he continued.
Yeah.
He's driving like a box of crap after that, basically.
Box
The
of
steering
crap.
was off.
Did you not hear what he said after he hit the
The,
wall?
the steering was
off.
off. The bonnet wasn't on properly. I think one of the bumpers was not aligned properly. I think
the wheel was
side
still
rail was
rubbing.
rubbing the back tire.
Yeah,
I thought he had a flat at one point, and then to survive one of the
The lunge.
biggest last bend lunge I've ever seen in my life, where Frank almost himself out.
if you look at the last 3 laps of that world final, look how horrible that thing is to drive. He's going wide every corner. He can't drive it. Frankie's
It's like
gaining every
It's like
corner.
having on your steering rack, like the rack bit. It's like having something that's welded onto it but causes a lump. So he's turning in. It's just like a massive lump as he turns in, so he can't get it in.
Yeah.
But Frank was on rails too. But that is probably the biggest last bend lunge I've ever seen. The fact he got it that close to the tire and
Yeah.
almost took himself out was
All
and the
I'm
hit as
saying
well.
is-
It was
all I'm
massive.
All I'm saying is with that lunge, it would have been 10 times better, obviously, if Joe wasn't
yeah,
there
yeah.
in front to cushion him.
That's
If
If
Joe
he
Booth
got
wasn't there,
out
it'd have been
with such
harder.
a big stud,
that
would have made it.
That is twice that exact same thing has happened to Frankie. It happened to him in 2007 at Kings Lynn when Stuart Smith Jr. was leading. Last bend lunge from Frankie. Stuart Smith used the car in front of him as a buffer and he survived the hit. That is exactly what happened, and that is the last time we had a last bend lunge in an F1 World Final before Skeg.
Also, the big news for that weekend, wasn't that the last ever World Final for Paul Harrison?
It was.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
Sadly.
yes.
Big sad.
Sort of big sad for me personally, but yeah, massive. I mean,
I have mad
what year? 30 years, I think, maybe more.
40 odd, innit?
Winning a world title, something like that. It's mental.
I think it's 40 years.
One world title, 2011. I think 3 or 4 British titles, 2 Europeans, the UK Open. Obviously, close family friend, so it makes it a bit better. But yeah, what a career. We're glad he ended it on a top 10 in the world final.
I remember my first meeting I did at Kings Lynn. I got a poster off of Paul Harrison. This was a world qualifier in 2011, 2 weeks before he won the British in 2011.
Yeah, you got signed poster. I got to chill out the back of the bus after he won the world final and have some.
Yeah.
I mean,
hold
you
the
guys
trophy.
not the little interview he had at Kings Lynn, because didn't he do the Kings Lynn semi-final?
Yeah, he did the semi.
Yeah,
and
he pulled out, didn't he? And they said, "Is this the last semi-final we'll see
Yeah.
you?" And he was very unsure on whether to say yes or no, would he? I think he was
I
quite.
said there's like a BSCDA graphic that came out on the week. It's like one final shot, and I'm like, you can't end it this year. Like next year's Lynn, you got to do it at Lynn.
Oh,
No,
mate,
well,
Lynn is a track you got to end it at. I'm sorry, but Lynn
he
is
was
just.
going to do a Lynn after, but I think because of the weather, he decided not to.
Demolition icon. I'm glad Archie Brown won that world final. I have so much respect for his old dad, Shane Brown, one of the best drivers who could race a banger and a saloon. Yeah, absolutely.
Josh,
I
was
mean,
you with us when we watched the Saloon World Final? You wasn't, was you?
No, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I
So we had
was
a
at
few of
work
us. We had a
at the
few of us in a
time.
Discord call watching World Final, and even that was going
However,
mental.
I
I
was
did get the
screaming.
notification.
Yeah, yeah.
I got the notification while I was on my break at work. All I saw was Josh Beattie has posted on Facebook. 7:30, Dean Mays is out, and the
Oh
joy
yeah, I
of
remember you putting that
Mays,
group chat.
the fact that we were going to have a new world champion was just unreal.
That was a
I
great
I
world
just
final.
love it when you get somebody new, somebody that's
Yeah.
never probably had it before in his life.
He must
And
have hated
when
his last few years in F1s then.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, right, it's not very often you see a lot of youngsters now winning
True.
big championships. I mean, at the end of that, didn't you say Archie Brown? Didn't you say his dad won it before?
Yeah, his dad won it at
2000.
Cowden Beef in 2008.
Well, there you go then. Father
60
and son.
60
It's more of a touch
16
moment
years,
for him.
16 years later, his son wins it at the same track.
First father and son to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go then. It's history.
Mhm.
That's what it
It was,
is.
he
That
he
was a
earned it as
lovely
well. He had
last
to
bend.
drive down Sheville at his
Mm.
best track,
That
line
is-
him up for a last bend lunge.
He
and
was
buried him.
on his
That
arse
is
the entire race.
There's not many
Right.
that can do it. And then he backs it up while we went in the British at a meeting we shall not talk about. And was he win the national as well? Was it the national he won?
No, he won the English. He won the English
Oh, the
earlier in the year.
English
So he's English, British, and world champion.
levels.
Anyway, guys, I think obviously we've got more meetings to go through. Shall we carry on with
Yeah, let's
the
carry on.
next one to be the Micro UK Championship?
Yep,
Was,
there's only
after
one thing I can really pick out of this, and that was Harry Cobb getting done on the nose and the whole thing catching fire. Oh, and Fiesta on the infield deciding to detonate.
Oh, and not only that, there was wasn't there a 1300 that went up in the air or something?
Were 1300s on at this meeting? No, 1300s were quite tame at this meeting for a change.
Right, okay.
The only thing you can really pick out of this was the micro bangers,
Yeah.
where Harry Cobb got done on the nose, caught on fire with that. That was
I was
big
about to say,
fun as
did
well.
you even go to that one? 'Cause I'm trying to find
Yeah,
the video
I did,
from
I
it.
did, I did. It's more recent. I did upload it.
Ah, right,
But
okay.
then you had
Then also we've got
no.
we've got the oh, go on then, James. Sorry.
You had a Fiesta on the infield in that same race completely explode. Like, I turned the camera and you just see a fireball in the middle. The whole car is engulfed in flames. But also, one thing we've forgotten to talk about as well is the saloons on the F1 World Final night. Joey Reynolds following on Tommy Parrott.
Rattle.
Go on, Joey.
I left just before that as well.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sorry.
was massive.
And Levi's little altercation.
Yeah, Levi List was having a war with one of the Dutchmen. He had a war with the Scottish driver as well, the 98. Got ran in, and then Joey Reynolds just absolutely deleted Tommy Parron.
I'm
Joey
sorry.
back to his best.
I think Joey Reynolds definitely belongs in saloons.
Yeah,
He's
he does.
brilliant.
You know what doesn't make sense
He's just
to
a
me?
pure entertainer.
You know what doesn't make sense to me? He rods in bangers, he crashes in saloons.
That's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, Saloons are crashing, no? Saloons are for crashing.
Bangers aren't meant for rodding.
Oh, ask Joey.
Well, there's a bumper there, James, for a reason.
Yeah, I know. You're missing the point.
But that's like me giving you a gun and saying to you, you can
Oh,
use
God,
it,
okay.
and then you choose not to.
Either way, moving
Well,
on.
Legally.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, literally though. But yeah. Well, by the looks of it, we've got. Oh, here we go, James. This was something that you didn't go to, but I ended up meeting Riley at, and that was the double header meeting at Northampton.
Ah, yeah.
Where the
not,
first.
not a championship meeting, but this was my personal
No,
favourite.
it wasn't a championship. It was the shootout round.
Well, it was a championship, but not
4.
in a sense.
Yeah.
It was to do
Oh,
with a championship.
it
But
was to do-
my personal favourite meeting of the year.
I'm sorry, right, but can we just quickly bring up the way that they've done the shootout this year was
Quality.
absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic.
Quality.
It rung out the best in every single driver that got the opportunity to compete for it.
The only thing that ruined it a little was Hendersfield in the final round because Tom's that good on tarmac. But apart from that,
A lot of drivers
perfect.
did say, why did we have to do Hennisford?
Yeah, I wouldn't have Hendersfield in the final round personally, but
But anyway, obviously it was a double header. I believe the first meeting was at 1 o'clock and it was 1300 and Brisker
Ones.
ones. And then the other one was at 5 o'clock, and then you had National Mini Stocks World of Shale, and then Shootout round 4. I mean, Riley, me and you were both there. I thought the 1300s were a bit tame. Tebs got stuck in a bit, but apart from that, they
They
weren't
were
really.
okay, but the F1s were quality because it
Oh,
obviously Shootout.
Yes,
Jelly
100%.
Tesla, Niels Tesla, the standout performers, just somehow just absolutely dialing the cars in.
Joey
Neil,
Randall has
running
been with
over
his
everything.
brother too
Oh.
long.
I know if Mason's watching, he was well happy with the Neils getting their 1-2.
Speaking of Mason, this happened on a particular day in September when there was something happening in Taunton, the
Yeah.
F2 World Final, and Mason had to buy the streams for us to watch. So thanks to
yes,
Mason.
yes.
But we wish we didn't watch it in the end.
Well,
yeah,
Well, we wish we didn't watch it, but we're kind of glad that we did.
yeah. I mean, we're all happy halfway through. Lap boards come out like, yeah, this is looking good. 5 to go, final bend. Yeah. Can we turn it off?
The
We'll
one
turn
time,
it off, please.
It wasn't my
And then-
favourite moment of the year.
the one
Yeah,
time,
but then it was a bit of actually no. Let's not turn it off.
Oh wait, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
the one time
Yeah,
Joey
chick-
crashed was at
again.
the one time Joey crashed was at Eminem, one of the biggest hits I've ever seen. Yeah, and then he broke his knee for the first time,
first time about what 3?
like 2 or 3. Yeah, because he broke it. He broke his other one at Scunthorpe.
And I think he broke something in a saloon as well, but I can't remember. But yeah, after the moment, Ginch,
The real number one.
Ginch stood on the car, done a little chicken dance, then ran the home straight and showed the back. I think he has his number on the back of the overall, so showed that to the crowd. I got a lot of hate for that, which if anyone done it, like any driver did what Ginch did, why are you giving hate to them?
Facebook famous, didn't he?
Yeah, why? Even if it was the other way around, and then Fagan done the chicken dance, why are you giving hate? Like, if you was in that position yourself, you're 5 laps away from winning a world title, and you get taken out by a car that's a lap down from something that happened a year earlier. Which, I mean, he did it when it mattered, but when you're a lap down, it's a bit more sour. But
Yeah.
if you're moaning about someone complaining they've just lost the biggest race of the year from being taken out 5 laps to go from a lap car, then get over yourself. You shouldn't.
But at the end of the
literally
day,
hating them.
we will just quickly point out he did redeem himself in the end. Like
He
good
redeemed
karma
himself.
did come back at him, yeah.
He redeems
But
himself.
the back to the Northampton meeting, obviously round 3 was a bit of fireworks, but obviously then we had the matter of obviously
Newson versus
didn't
Jack
Tom's car go kaput.
Oh, yeah, he won his heat, and I think it was his oil pressure or something just decided to disappear. So he had to retire from the first meeting after winning his heat,
With that,
and then
you
he
can
had to.
hard on my
He
face.
was already qualified anyway. And then in the second meeting, he had to use Ash England's car, and he was on pace, got second in the heat. But it came down to Matt Newson versus Jack France for the final spot.
Polly done really well. You have to agree. Polly
Oh,
and obviously Niels, him and Niels and Tesla were on rails. It's just a
Niels
shame.
and Tesla are the same person.
Yeah, well,
Niels
I
and
mean,
Yelly.
Yellermeister. But honestly, I think Yelly, if he'd have continued with the dominance that he has at Lynn and Northampton, elsewhere, he was a really good contender.
If he didn't have a problem in the consolation at Kings Lynn later in the season, later in the round, he probably could have got in because Polly suffered in the final national.
Me and Mason, I'll tell you what, me and him bickered so
I
much.
was on Mason's side for that one. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but I was on
Polly
Mason's
and Yellermeister trying to
side.
get
I like
in.
Polly.
When I
Polly, but I was
told
on
him-
Mason's side.
And when I told him that Polly had got through, he hates me now for it. He just hates me now for it.
Yeah, I was on Mason's side that day, but I do like Polly, so I'm not too bothered.
But no, honestly, that was a good day. Honestly, seeing you, obviously
I know.
after a little while, obviously,
2 years, I think. 23. No, a year. 23.
No.
World Final.
yeah, something like that. Well,
Good
actually,
meeting as
no,
well.
we saw each other. Didn't we see each other? Wasn't that before the World Final? Or was that no? It was after the World Final.
It was
'Cause of the
after World
shootout.
Final.
Yeah,
It was
obviously
the
we
first
saw each other
proper
World
one. Yeah,
Final
it was
a
the
little
first
bit.
proper one because we only just said hello.
Yeah.
World Final.
Right,
But
let's
no, that was
move.
a really good meet.
Let's move
We've only
on
got a few
to.
more weeks to go.
Let's move on to the Unlimited Banger World Final at Ipswich. Oh my
I'll put my
god!
feet up.
Yeah,
And
relax
also,
a
it
bit.
was the Lady Bangers Gold Roof as well.
Hum.
wasn't it? It said, oh no, it
Oh,
says
what?
here caged open.
Yeah, nobody
By the
cares
looks of
about
it.
that.
Oh no.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moving on.
okay. Are we going to the Unlimited World Final then? Are we?
Unlimited World Final, yes.
Oh, my favourite meeting of the year.
It-
Well, one of many.
Mm.
But this is the
The atmosphere there is insane. One of the best atmospheres you'll find anywhere else in the country. I'd say the only one that beats it is the F1 World at Skeg.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but if Brisker F1s were to do the same atmosphere with like the whole singing along to the lyrics and everything like they do at Unlimited World Final, it would just make that weekend just a bit more sweet, I think, personally. But
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
But the Unlimited Banger World Final, everyone's saying last year was better than this year. I disagree. I think this year, in terms of crashing, was a lot better. And the World Final race probably wasn't as good rodding wise. Like the racing wasn't as
Very
great.
tame. Very tame.
I wouldn't say very. I'd say there was a good battle between 4 cars. You had like Tuffin, Darren Fenley, Jimmy Craig, and Macaulay Mills up there for quite some time, and then they all kind of fell apart because of the carnage that went on. Jimmy Craig survived all that and went on to win the world. Last chances were a little tame, apart from Connor Osborne's door following on one of the demons. But yeah, no, overall pretty good meeting. Then you had a Jag in one of the last chance races decide to go just bye-bye, just detonate.
Also, we had if you remember, James, we had another one of our SORUK supporters, Ryan Blair, out in his first Unlimited for Unlimited World Final, if you remember.
Ryan Blair was unbelievable. He went round pretty well in his last chance qualifier. He'd done a limo at the end of the straight in the all-comers. He then got done by another limo on the straight.
And then Patch come flying in.
Patch comes in with one of the hardest hits of the year for SORUK. Just rattles Mark Nottingham in the limo, folds his limo, and that just creates a mess. But yeah, and then the racing for the lead in that same race was pretty good as well. You had Rob Browning, Blake Platts, and I think it was Runa battling for the win. There was a good last bend lunge from Blake, and Rob Browning went on to win that. That was a good battle. And then the last all-comers, you had a big pile up. You had Posh Wash, DWO, you had TWT, and you had BRCM in there as well, all going at it, decimating each other. You had Art by Ab's brother going out there hitting stuff and getting hit. That was a good last race, and there was a big pile up on the start of the home straight. That was quite spectacular to watch, and Patch was hitting everything he saw, hitting all the Posh Wash Mercs. That was good.
I'll tell you what, though, the Dutch there for the World Final
Yeah.
were absolutely unbelievable as well.
The Dutch were
I mean,
fantastic.
look at what the Vorking brothers produced. 240 Hertzes. They were slightly different in their like odd little way.
The little tribute they did going around together very slowly with the flares being thrown onto the track as well was fantastic.
I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a bit of an incident with the flares where it did hit. I believe it hit a woman in the back of the head.
Right.
Something like that. Obviously, I believe it was caught on camera, but we hope the woman is obviously okay from the incident. Obviously, nobody likes to see that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't intentional. I bet it wasn't. But
the Dutch are just here to party. They don't care.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
best looking car, James, can I ask, from the World Final, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it comes down to
that includes last chance qualifiers as well.
Comes down to 3 cars.
Best looking.
Comes down to 3 cars.
I can actually have a say in this because I have a favourite.
Okay, go on then, Riley. Seeing as you don't really,
it's not just one; it's the whole team. So obviously, I don't know my bang stuff, so I don't know the names or anything. But the driver that won, his squad, them liveries are
TWT.
Beautiful.
Oh, what, the Web Tribe?
Yeah. The silver ones with the different colours on each accent, beautiful.
That was a cool tribute. And Jimmy Craig winning the World Final. Congratulations to him once again on winning it.
Is that not his first ever World Final as well?
That's his first ever
win as well.
First ever win in the Unlimiteds.
Damn.
But tell you what, though.
Fair play.
Let me say my opinion then.
Go on, then.
So I got 3. Max Eaton's Frog.
Okay. Oh, that was cool. Yep.
Yep. Bodger's Mark 10 Jag.
I knew you'd say Bodger.
Yep.
Sexy car. I'm
And
sorry to say it, but sexy.
Sean Brookenshire's Mark 10 Jag. I think Sean's Mark 10 Jag is better than Bodger's.
No,
Yes.
not a chance.
Yes.
So you didn't say 388.
Oh, what,
Three-
Steve-O's?
They're all gold.
All silver, you
Oh,
mean?
no, that was...
All chrome.
Yeah, all silver.
All
'cause-
crow, sorry, yeah, sorry. Wrong colour. But yeah, same, you know
that
what I mean?
was beautiful, yeah. I'd say fourth place goes to Ricky Beasley's frog. The black with the chrome, like, tribal on it.
Oh, yeah.
That was really nice. I loved that. I did
I
love
mean, there's
Steve-O's
just
as
too
well.
many cars. There's just too many cars for me to choose. But if I had to choose one, I think it would have to be like the Vorkinks with their
Yeah.
like tribute as well.
Oh,
They're not. They were smart. Like not too much and not too little. Just the right amount of sign writing, and away you go.
Demos pointed out another car as well. The Mark Bolden tribute Granny.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. That was a
was
nice
beautiful.
car.
Yeah, and he got jacked up and done by the poles. That was great.
But yeah, that was a very good evening overall. I
That was very
personally
good.
think. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm guessing you enjoyed it as well, James.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I just wish it'd be more crashy.
Yeah, well, that's unlimited for you now, mate.
Yeah.
Like I said at the start of the stream, it's money talks.
Yeah. Right, now we move on to Skegness for the shootout round, stage 2, round 3. Things to point out, obviously, Tom Harris having a dominant day in his new tarmac car. You had Bobby Griffin try to climb over the top of Finn Sargent's car, which created a mess. Yeah, there's not an awful lot.
Saturday
to
was
point out
better
about
than the
this.
Sunday.
Yeah,
The Saturday was better.
I didn't go on the
It was
Saturday.
still good.
I didn't go
It was
on.
still a good meeting, but the Saturday was better.
I didn't go on the Saturday. I went on the Sunday, but yeah, the Sunday was a bit tame. The saloons were good on the Sunday because you had Alfie Alders get ran in by Graham Chevel. Chevel tried to climb the wall, and then
First time.
yep, and then you had one of the Rob Speak hire cars get ran in an absolute treat by Carl Boswell, just get ploughed into the wall. But yeah, nothing much to point out about that. Who won that? Who won the Horry Barnes Memorial?
Chevel won it.
I think it might have been Chevel, yeah. And
I think
then
Chevel won it.
And then we go to the next meeting straight after, the cut-off round in Stage 2, where the Yelly Tesla heartbreak happened at Kings Lynn. That was an awesome meeting.
Sorry, Mason.
Something...
And probably Tom's most dominant final win ever.
Yeah, the final was
Made
rubbish.
it boring.
Yeah.
Made it boring.
Probably one of the worst finals I've seen at Kings Lynn. But yeah,
Wait till Northampton next year.
However, though, that was the redemption meeting for Charlie Ginchard. Won the World of Shale, didn't
Yep.
With a tactical move on Tomlin.
That was a beautiful move on Tomlin. I race RC bangers with Charlie Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for the guy. He's a mate of mine. But that was a beautiful move from Ginch.
He was rapid as well.
Yeah.
They were both rapid. And then I think in the finals, well, Ginch got spun back straight. I think he still recovered to third. I think was that the final.
Something
Like
that.
all day that all night, shall I say? He was on it. You could tell he wanted that World of Shale bad, and he deserved it.
That was a great. I think he was like 10th, wasn't he?
I think he started like row 3. I think.
No, I think he started further. No, I think he started further back than that. I think it was like row 5.
I'm gonna fact check because I'm now struggling to remember.
But yeah, no, the F2 stole the show on that night. The F1s were alright, but you had Yelly Tesla, tangle with Michael Scriven, throw away the shootout hopes. You had a few Dutch drivers come over for that. That was good. Loads of Dutch F2 drivers.
Was Frank and Lee battled at one point? I think.
Yeah, you had good races between them. Polly, I think. He
was row. I've got to count now. 1, 2. Yeah, row 8 inside. It's an All England. I was thinking of Jack Witts, row 4.
Yeah.
How did Jack Witts get row 4?
The Mark Bolden tribute car was a really emotional one to see. I've been a huge fan of him since I was born. I was born 4 days after his memorial at Arena Essex in 2003, and it went out Bolden style. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah.
And Hayden Ballard getting the pleasure of driving that car.
Yeah.
Just
my favourite national hot rod driver driving that. That was amazing.
You wouldn't believe it, would you? National hot rod driver going in a banger.
And going crashing as well.
Yeah,
True Mark Bolden style.
Complete opposites.
you know the first UK weekend that we went to,
Yeah,
James. I know
yeah.
we're going back to the UK a bit,
Yeah.
but if you remember correctly, the weekend before that was the National Hot Rod World Final,
Yeah.
where Robert McDonald had won it.
Yeah.
He then jumped out of that. The following weekend, he jumped in a saloon.
And he rolled it, didn't he?
He rolled it, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was it? Another one of the national hot rod drivers, John Sybil, turned around and said to him, "When are you getting a saloon then, Rob?" And he said, "Am I getting a saloon?" He said, I can't handle that."
Jerry Reynolds goes from bangers to saloons easy.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Right.
Joey's just used to the contact.
Let's talk about Riley's big capture of the year, the Tom Harris flip at Northampton.
Oh, I thought you'd never mention it.
Josh's favourite moment. Not mine.
That is the best capture Riley got all year.
Best capture I've ever got on SORUK.
And it's your favourite driver in the worst possible predicament.
Yeah, but you still want a silver, so pipe down, yeah?
Oh, come on.
That was because the race itself started like because it was the start of the final round of the shootout. So I think it was 6 drivers or 5 even. No, it was 6, wasn't it? I need to get this right. It was 6, and it was 3 in each heat because it's 2-1 format. And I think it was Frank, Matt, Lee, and Tom, so 4 in each heat. And Lee got away well, got himself tangled. You're like, Lee's probably out of this race and going to be points behind. Tom and Frank and Matt battle for a bit, and then you're thinking this could get a bit because Frank went for Matt a bit early, got him wide, put him in the wall, and you're thinking here comes the start of the title fight. And all of a sudden you're seeing Frank and Tom battle, and you're like, this could be like end up in one of them going into all hard and damaging their car. And I'm looking around at Lee to honestly focusing the thing, and in the corner of my eye there's like a yellow top, a white top, slowly like on the not racing line but on the wall on the back straight, and you just see a car clip it, and then up goes Tom Harris, does a barrel roll, and the car destroyed.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that's the meeting done for Tom. He's going to be miles behind, and he still gets out for the next race with no wing, but he still gets out.
In the words of Tom Harris, it was scrap.
It was scrap. It was. I remember seeing it like them flip it over again. You're just thinking, yeah, that's meeting done.
I will apologise, Riley. You did ask me to post it, and then a few YouTubers took it and then said that I'd posted it, and I did put video credit Riley Gale.
I'm not fussed.
In brackets, ShortOvalRacingUK.
It's what it is. As long as the sport gets out there, that's the main thing. But that's one of my. I think that's my most viewed video this year. I think.
That's one of the most
11K?
viewed videos on the channel.
Yeah, 11,000 views by the looks of it.
As soon as I got it, I messaged the group chat. I was like, Josh, your thing's just happened. Tom's just rolled it.
I was at work as well when I shouted, and all the customers heard me. I was like, oh god, great! And my boss come around the corner. She went, "What are you shouting about?" I was like,
and then the heavens opened while Master Star was under the grandstand, and it absolutely tipped down. I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to film the rest because my camera's going to be destroyed. But it was fine. It was all good.
So you got very moist that day then?
Oh, it was very wet. Yeah, it was very wet.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't get stuck in the field. But no, we didn't park in the field, actually. We parked literally we was in the overflow car park, and it was behind Tom. So in the BSCDA video shootout, our car is in the video, which is quite funny. Okay. But yeah, it was the role itself was so weird because it's very rare you see a Tom mistake, and then to do it at that moment in a title battle, basically, it was like, is this the year where someone takes it away? But nope, he got it back.
I was so heartbroken though.
What say, James?
Who else but Tom?
Yeah, I mean that's what Tom does, isn't it?
How were the F2s?
At tame, to be honest. I mean, Gordon won consolation of final, I believe, taking the Northampton Track Championship. He beat Greg in the final. The track dried after the heavy downpour, so there's a dry line on it, and Gordon was rapid. He was the fastest I've ever seen him on Shale. But apart from that, not too much happened. Didn't record the V8s because after the first race, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to see the championship race. I was like, I'm not going to do it. So didn't watch V8s. But it was a good meeting. I enjoyed it. It started Shootout. If every round was like that, then it'd have been a lot closer, but it didn't end up like that because of Hendersford.
Right, and now we move on to one of my favourite meetings of the year, every single year, the Halloween Carnival night at Kings Lynn, which produced one of the best races we've seen all year on SORUK, or one. I say one of, it's not better than the F1 World. It's probably the second.
Well,
It's
well,
probably the
I
second
mean,
best.
the F1 World is our most viewed video
Yeah.
ever. So
Yeah, but the the Supernatural Championship at Halloween meeting at Kings Lynn, that is one of the best races I've filmed. That was unbelievable. Just carnage all in front of us. Massive limo jacking train. Hearses getting splintered left and right. You had Aston Burton hitting everything in sight. Nutty Nige on Oppo in the hearse. You had AD Groom blocking the track with his limousine. You had Spud with the big Jag camper cruising about. I think there was only one or two cars that finished and like 20 odd started. So it was just carnage from start to finish.
wasn't it the DS limo that had like the broken front leg that managed to win it?
Yeah, and
Part of Team Waller.
yeah, and the engine blew up as soon as he crossed the line.
I'll tell you what, that is quality. But hey, that's what it's all about, though. You just got to laugh about it.
That Jag camper wins the award for the biggest car of the year, though. That thing was gigantic.
That's got to be That's got to be voted at least one of the most unusual.
Yeah.
With like Frenchie's limo.
No, that was more unusual than Frenchie's limo. Mate,
I mean,
I've never
twin axle Jag camper.
Yeah.
You find me another one. I dare you.
That thing was weird. It was bigger than a Brisker F1 as well.
Yeah.
That thing was
Cool, imagine one of
gigantic.
them with a Brisker F1 roofing.
Oh,
God.
mate, you wouldn't be able to get on there. The wing would
Imagine
probably
it
make
with
the
a
whole back
Shale
end crumple.
roofing.
It would just fall through
it's
it.
like
Shale-
Frank's not Barlow, the long track. His roofer is like twice the size of the car.
I was about to say,
Downforce.
imagine it with a Shale roofing. Jesus
Yeah, it's-
Christ.
Just rolls over every corner.
I'll tell you one thing though that was the talk. Well, there was actually two things that was the talk of that meeting. Obviously, Podge's 1959 Cadillac.
Yeah, the big
Wasn't
cat.
it?
That is one of the cars of the year, the most beautiful car of the year, in my opinion. That thing was insane. But he did
There was
nothing in it.
that. Yeah, there was that, and then there was the Lincoln limo, which 776. I believe he's part of the Predators.
Yeah, he's like 60 years old. He blocked the track. He kept getting done left and right by like 10 cars. Tom Waller came round and just jacked him up. It twisted the whole thing.
Mate, brilliant. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what the Halloween Havoc's all about.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Entertainment.
Yeah. And then you had that 804 come out with the limo. One of the bears done him flat out through the back wheel, ripped the whole back wheel off. And then he was sat up again, got done on the nose by Sean Brockenshire. And then you had another driver come round, do him through the side, go right through the side of him. And you could just see him in the car going nuts, waving his hands in the air like crazy.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
That was
great.
the 1300 Stock Cars World of Shale Championship, James.
It was very good. The start of the World of Shale was absolute mayhem. Massive pile up. The Shinny boys got drilled. 209 got put in the back of Riley. Was it Riley Shin 401? Yeah, it's Riley Shin.
Probably was, yeah, Riley Shin 401,
got done right in the back end, created a massive pile up. A car hit the tyre, went airborne. Just a complete track blockage. Had to call Reds, and then Jacob Bromley and Jimmy Morris had a good battle, but then Bromley ran away, and Tyler Bloomfield on the last bend as a backmarker tried to follow in Bromley, ran him in flat out on the last bend, couldn't stop him. Bromley rode the wall and won the World of Shale. Great drive from Jacob, a great race once again from the 1300s, as always at Kings Lynn, probably the best formula at that track, absolutely brilliant. And then for the rest of the night, they were decent, but yeah, overall,
Pretty good then.
another successful and amazing Halloween Carnival night.
Fair enough. Right, shall we move on to I think it was the last World Final of 2024, the 1600 Banger World Championship.
Unbelievable meeting. Despite the rain and it completely ruining my camera for one race, it was a great meeting.
We need to make you an umbrella for that camera.
Yeah, I had one on, but the rain was still reaching it, and it was faffing up. I think it was the first or second all-comers when the rain started. I managed to capture the big rollover at the start of the first all-comers. 80 Groom, bloody legend. Yeah, he is. 80 Groom is the boy. But yeah, that big rollover, I managed to capture the start of that race and everything that happened when the Reds came out, but I couldn't film the rest of that race because my camera lens was all fogged up and it wasn't operating right. It wouldn't shut the little thing that goes over the lens. It was playing up, and then I managed to fix it before the next race. But yeah, the last chance qualifying race is fantastic. Sonny Sherwood, I don't know how he was alright after that T-bone from Sparrow at the end of LCQ number 2, I think it was. You had Dylan Gamble running that guy right in front of us flat out.
Oh, that was a solid following.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That
we
was
forgot
hard.
one thing from Halloween. Martin Sternbecker's Aerobus limo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or the checker limo, as as what it's nicknamed.
I call it the Aerobus. Yeah, that thing was
Yeah.
insane. I'm gutted at everything I'm gutted everything like all the axles and stuff twisted because that thing was a tank.
Yeah.
That thing was sick. But then, yeah, going back to 1600 World, yeah, you had that big pile up with that 652 getting drilled by everybody. There were some massive hits going in the LCQs.
Joker Les,
Yeah.
the TikTok sensation, was out there.
Yeah.
I think it was a C-Max.
Yep, done Ashley Neal on the nose. I barely missed that, unfortunately. But yeah, you
Yeah,
had some moments
you had
go on
Bodger
there.
out
Big
there once
followings.
again.
Yeah, and then LCQ number 4, you had number 70 get ran in by the doors by somebody. Kieran Greenway running 2 cars in, getting airborne. Big following. Then Dean Mays getting absolutely levelled.
Bosh! Have it. I'm sorry, but that was a
Bastard.
good. You've just been 118.com.
Got ran in a
We're supposed to
tree.
do awards, so we've been 2 hours and a bit, 2 hours.
Yeah, we will cover everything else very shortly. We're coming towards the end of this now. We just thought we'd cover
Yeah, I was
everything.
about to say we're not long far.
Yeah.
But no, I think the 1600 World. I'm sorry to have to say this, but when my uncle first took me to watch 1600 World Finals, he said to me, "It's a meeting we should go and watch." And I was like, "Yeah, of course. It'll probably be a lot like Unlimited World Final. It won't be as crashy." And every year I've been so far, it has been carnage. There is non-stop action.
I
It
love
is absolutely brilliant.
the 1600 World is one of the bigger pain in the arses to film, but it's one of my favourite meetings to film. It's absolutely fantastic. I prefer it over the Unlimited one.
Yeah.
That was
But
fantastic.
no, you have to agree though, if the weather is right, there's enough cars, there's enough entertainment,
Mate,
there's a
enough
good
cars. You
atmosphere,
don't have to worry
brilliant.
about that. You get 300 cars every year.
Nah, come on, we should up it to 500. Come on, Speedworth. Up it to 500 cars a meeting. It'll be even more better.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, the World Final race itself was fantastic. Carnage everywhere.
Yeah.
And Mickey Maskell getting stopped on Oppo. The Skegness driver, what's his name? Like Billy Storr or something? 221?
I think his name's Jordan.
Something like that. Jordan Storr, I don't know.
Yeah,
221.
Jordan Storr.
He was leading the way with 5 laps to go, and then his car packed up on him with 5 laps to go. 2 years in a row, Skegness drivers have been screwed over in the 1600 World Final. Because Josh Matchin won it last year, then got disqualified.
But you have to agree, though,
Mm.
John Gallagher winning it 2022,
Mm.
2024, his son wins it 2 years later. I mean, again, history in the
Poetry.
making. Name 2 people or name a father and son that have managed to do it back to back within 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
Well, not really back to back, but father to son. It is amazing. But
Also, let's go to All Comers number 3 now, where some of the hardest hits I filmed all year happened. The massive pile up on lap 1. Everybody just steam training in. Nobody let off.
that's the whole point of it, mate. That's the way it should be. However, I will agree on one thing as well. Car of the meeting for me, 515, that Bluebird, that done bits in the World Final race.
That was a nice looking car, but in my opinion, the car of the meeting was that 452 Mark 5 Astra.
452?
452, yeah, that bright blue one with all like the checkered signs, the British roof.
Oh, yeah.
That is my car of the meeting, and mate, that is one of the smartest Mark 5 Astras I've ever seen. That thing was beautiful.
Oh yeah, Harry. I think his name's Harry Els.
L something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah, Els.
love that car so much. It's gorgeous.
I bet you. I bet you he still got it. I bet you he still does.
Mm.
But no, unfortunately, I wasn't there for the all comers. But you did make me jealous while I was on the
Yeah.
way home.
As
You did. You
anyway,
sent me a video.
as soon as you went home, that third all comers, everybody just steam trained in. That was savage. But yeah, and we will move on now to the most emotional meeting of the year, the Paul Butler Remembrance
Actually,
meeting,
no.
the Nutcracker.
There's one thing we missed
Is there?
before the 69 Banger World Final.
What
The
is it?
shootout finale
Oh
at
yeah.
Bradford.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
James missed everything. No.
Yeah, I missed everything. I don't want to remember that meeting.
No, it wasn't actually that. I mean, personally, it wasn't actually that.
I
good
mean,
of
it was a
meeting.
good meeting, but it
It's because you had
for a
Hainesford
finale.
the day before, not the day before, the week before, kind of ruin the title. So Frank, Polly, and Lee had to pretty much win every race. And when Tom's at Bradford, it's quite impossible
Yeah.
to do that.
I
But
missed
I mean,
everything.
it's a decent meeting. You had this moments like Polly going over the wall and
Yep,
continuing.
I missed that.
Matt getting his revenge on Frank for the first round at
That's the
Northampton,
one
like we
thing I
said.
caught.
And then Frank paying it back through a few cars later. And Finn Sargent taking his first final win of the year? I think it took that long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
something
believe
like
it was
that.
his first. And then Tom took his fifth silver, I think it is.
I think it's his sixth.
Yeah, it's sixth and fifth in a row. His silver, so he's going for 7 and 6th in a row next year. But people have to up their game to stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
Definitely.
on to the Nutcracker, the most emotional meeting of the year by far. The
Yeah.
first meeting without Paul Butler. It was very emotional. I kind of wanted to film the speech that Matt Black did, but I felt like it was disrespectful, so I didn't do it. But yeah, that was that.
Fair play.
Fair play to Matt. Matt, if you watch this, I know you know about SORUK, but if you watch this back, fair play to you, mate. Absolute legend, because that's
We all
not
know
easy.
that was a heartbreaking speech for you to give.
And obviously, this is the first podcast we've done where Paul Butler's no longer with us. So obviously, rest in peace, Paul, and all of us will remember you, mate. Absolute legend. But yeah. And Paul did give us the opportunity to make adverts for Trackstar Racing, and we can't thank him enough for that, you know.
Let's hope it continues into 2025.
Yes, it will. But yeah, Nutcracker, good meeting, good crashing. You had some big cars there. You had only Frost's Yank. You had Martin Steinbecker's with the weird Yank low-line hearse thing. That was a cool car. He did some bits in it, although it looked like an absolute.
It was a very weird hearse in my view.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand it, but it works.
It looked an absolute nightmare to drive. The thing was all over the place. But yeah, no, he managed to wreck it in the end. Licorice done him on the nose, and he got jacked up by somebody. You had the 56 Yank come back. He was hitting everything in sight. Done the jag that done Martin, and yeah, and then the 1600 bangers came around. The 1600s was savage. Last chance qualifying races were good. I think it was Max Bull in a Zafira, got done by somebody in a Focus sedan thing, and that was a hard hit. You had some big moments again. Gosh, that Paul Butler speech was the hardest thing to watch. Yeah, that was hard to listen to. I was there. That was really emotional. The place was dead silent. I've never heard a stadium that quiet. But yeah, no. Good meeting.
I just can't wait for the Paul Butler celebration meeting.
I can't wait for
They're going to be doing next year. I think it's going to be absolute. I just hope and pray it's like a Kev Waller, but in one day.
I hope it's like Extinction.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Weird and wonderful cars that you'd never ever see getting raced, and you just purely annihilate anybody and everybody that's in your path.
You just know there's going to be some beautiful paint jobs there as well.
Yeah.
Alright, and one last thing before we move on to the next stuff. I promise the next stuff we will make it brief. We'll make everything else brief. Yesterday's Microbanger Teams meeting, including some of my best photos I've taken again. from the Saloons and the F2s. This
And
was
why else was it special, James?
what's that, Riley?
Why was it special for you, James?
I was just about to get to that. My dad raced.
Oh, sorry.
Mm.
There you go.
My dad raced in the microbangers for Team Ouch 128 Chris Golden. That was special for me. That was the one time again where I was filming and I couldn't stop shaking the camera because I was so nervous. Dad was leading. My dad led a lap.
Mate, that message I got for you. He led a lap. I was like, yay, happy.
He led a lap and then he drilled Sean Unwin.
He just couldn't help himself, could he?
Yeah, and then I had quite a big scare out. My dad's good mate and a good mate of mine, John Webster, fellow marshal at Lynn again. He hit the wall a ton, flat out into the wall end of the straight, bounced off it, and then he got drilled flat out length of the straight through the back wheel by, I think it was Max Bull. Paul Butler let me contribute to programs, rest in peace. Yeah, exactly, man. Gave us all a bunch of great opportunities. He gave me the access to make adverts for Trackstar, so yeah, it's very special. But yeah, my dad raced microbangers. He done Sean Unwin in Heat 1, and then he got done on the nose by one of Sean's teammates. That was him out of the race in Heat 1. Heat 2, his car was down on power, so he just sent it into the door of Reese Medley, put him into a pile up, and then jacked Malfi Syme up, and then he got jacked up by somebody else. I can't remember who jacked him up, but yeah, he was in the pile up, and his KA looked a bit shorter than it did, so then he went out for the DD and hit somebody and then piled up into the back of another car, which ended his day, wrote off the KA, and I think he had a good day overall. I think he's feeling a bit sore, but he's doing pretty well. I've heard John Webster has... I don't know if John Webster has broken ribs or not. I've heard something about broken ribs. But hopefully John has a speedy recovery, whatever he's going through. Because I know them 2 hits were really hard. So fair play to him for getting out there anyway. They both did pretty good. But yeah, that just about covers every meeting from 2024 in the memorable moments. There was a lot to unpack. I'm sorry it was a very long, nearly 3-hour long segment, but that just
That's
about
what you
covers
get.
What a
that.
whole year of racing does.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that's what you get when you come along and for the ride with SORUK.
Yeah, exactly. When we're doing 50 meetings a year, it will probably be more next year.
Come on, mate. Let's try and see if we can beat the record of TR.
Yeah.
80
Oh,
metres.
no.
Oh
Yeah.
no, we're not beating that. We'll
No,
probably
TR's too good.
with me and Riley, we'll probably do about 60.
I'm sorry, right, but dedication
Yeah.
with TR.
Fair
go.
play, TR. TR, if you
Brilliant.
watch this back, mad respect, mate. Mad respect. 80 meetings a year is ridiculous.
He was just 12 off of Joey Reynolds' record. Joey
Yeah.
done 92 meetings, but that's obviously competing.
I
but
think
92 meetings in a year
I think
just to
he's
go and watch.
I think he's
It's a lot.
I think he's only a few away from Dean Mays' record of like 80 something meetings.
There you go then.
Right, on to the next segment, lads. Right, how we're going to do this one, we're going to pick our 3 favourite meetings of 2024, but we're going to rank them. So, third to first, like, what is your best meetings of 2024?
Mine's all F1 then.
Yep, go on,
I was
Riley.
about to say, Riley, you go first.
Yeah.
You go first with
Um,
your one.
But probably the Saturday UK Open meeting with that Grand National, because that was incredible.
Yep.
Because it was beautiful. That Grand National itself made the meeting amazing. Bradford was a slight contender, the one before the finale. I might actually sneak. Yeah, I'll go with Bradford actually, because that was demolition derby throughout the whole meeting. Second will be the Northampton 2-in-1, because that was cool. So I have 2 meetings in one day, and it being a shootout too. And obviously the top's got to be World Final Day. That was incredible. But one of the best World Final days for me ever. So
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Josh?
I mean, it's hard to pick, really. Kev Waller's up there. Briscoe World is up there, even though the world champion won it again. Unlimited
Same again
World
next year.
Finals up there as well. I mean, it's hard to rank them, really. But if we're going off whole atmosphere and, like, general, like, everything all in all, I'd say third meeting would have to be the Unlimited World Final for me, which I don't really rank it that low. Usually it's one of the most favourites, but then again, World Final, Bristol World Final was definitely second, but the Kev Waller Memorial tops it all for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right. Before I get
Now
into
you
I
my
need
got
a
some
50 to choose from for you.
before
Yeah.
this is hard for me. I've done 46 meetings.
Yeah, all right, brag.
Right. Before I get into mine, I'm going to read some chats. Hold on. Ryan Nibb spinning Dean Mays made Josh's night, didn't it? Yes, it did.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Yep. Dover boys winning the teams. Yep. Dover boys are just fantastic, aren't they? Dover boys are really good. The purple rain, the real purple rain. I hope there's
The
no.
real purple rain.
I hope there's no Purple Rain Wreckfest teammates that watch SORUK.
I'll tell you what, it would be good for SORUK to maybe do a live stream on Wreckfest. I think that'd be quite cool.
I
but
was
that's just my
thinking
opinion.
about that once, yeah, but it'll have to be on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll have to be PC.
Yeah. Demolition Icon, because of how big the back window is, that's what makes it a hearse. Last thing from me, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make Butler's meeting. I hope it's my testimonial 2.0. Yeah, I hope it's the same. I hope you do make it to that meeting, because that is going to be special. It's also the day before my birthday, so it's special for me too. 60. I'll try and do 60. No promises, but I'll try and do 60 meetings next year.
Jesus Lord, I've got so many thumbnails to make.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've been cooking this last month or so I think you'll be alright.
I've been trying.
Yeah.
You two and your cooking, I'll tell you what, you two could give Gordon Ramsay a run for his money, I'll
We
tell
want to
you.
make this professional.
Who's
so
Gordon
that's
Ramsay?
what we're doing.
Gordon Ramsay, I barely knew he.
Yeah. We want to make this professional, so that's what we're doing.
Shout out to Core Roblox Racing.
Yeah, that's CORRL, so that's Kane's Online Roblox Racing League on Roblox. So
Wreckfest better. Anyway, my top
Yeah,
my top meeting
Breakfast too,
this
see you
year.
later, boys.
My top meeting this year has to be Kev Waller, F1 World, and Saloon World. Everybody else in chat, what is your favourite meetings of the year? Please let us know in the chat. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to say my favourites. So, number 3 on my list. This is going to be...
God, if you do something that I think you're going to do.
Right, see,
Do you
this...
put F1 World third?
No.
Good.
So, third place, this might be a shock to some people. Brooks Bilge third on my list. This is just out of meetings that I've filmed, by the way. So I'll probably say like my top 3 out of all meetings across the whole year shortly after this. But this is all the meetings I've filmed first. So number 3 is Brooks Bilge out of the meetings I've filmed. Number 2, Kev Waller Pre-70. Kev Waller
how
Pre-70
could you
goes
rate that
second.
number 2?
And
There's a meeting better than that.
And the meeting better than that, with no hesitation, Brisker F1 World Final.
There it is.
Yep. I'm sorry, but the
best day of the year.
atmosphere, the buzz, the weather, everything about that meeting trumps Kev Waller, in my opinion.
Brisker F1 World Final Day is better than Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if it's just that good.
Oh, it is. It really is. F1. I'll take. If you ask me, would I have F1? Like, I had to get rid of one F1 World Final Day of Christmas. I'm getting rid of Christmas, mate.
If you could have F1s like every day for Christmas, you'd be literally that dedicated. You'd do anything and everything.
I'd be bankrupt. I'd be bankrupt.
Mate, if Riley could do the amount of meetings I'd do, he'd be in heaven. We'd be covering 130 meetings a year.
Every single F1 meeting. See you in Knock Hill, lads.
Yeah. Riley can do Skegness UK Open weekend. I can do Kev Waller weekend. We got We got 4 meetings in bloody one weekend.
We'll try.
Saloon World was crazy. 6 to 7 red flags before Archie done that last bend lunge. The atmosphere was amazing. First time at Scotland, and definitely want to go back. I want to go Cowden Beef.
We were going to do
F2 World Final.
Yeah, F2 World. We'll see. It comes down to
little
money.
revenge shot for someone. Little revenge.
Comes
shot,
down to
you know,
money
good
as
game.
well, Riley, because I'm trying to save up to race next
Yeah, I
year.
know. Yeah, that's
Hang
gonna
on.
be cool.
Did I just hear revenge shot? Go on,
Revenge
King
shot.
Charles.
Mr. Number One. Let's go. What's
So
after best meeting?
So now out of all meetings across the whole year, even the ones I haven't filmed, number 3, I'm gonna go. Oh god, this one's complicated. Skegness Goldie testimonial.
Interesting.
Number 2, I'm gonna go. Oh, actually no.
Kev Waller second, World Final first. There you go. You're done.
Yeah, sorry. I'm
Hang
gonna have to. Saloon World Final was good, but the rest of the meeting was pretty tame. So, number 2, obviously Kev Waller Pre-70. Number 1, Saloon World.
Saloon World.
Not Saloon, F1 World. F1 World, sorry.
I was just gonna say, you changed quick.
You don't like F1s anymore.
Yeah.
Nah, it's gone. Just leaving me on my own.
I'd say Kev Waller meeting, 1600 Good Friday meeting, Goldie's meeting, my top 3. Fair enough. I mean, I was at
Right.
Skegness for Good Friday, so
1600 Good Friday meeting at Milton Hall, James. That is one meeting I'd love you to go and watch.
I've
It is
been to
tough.
before. I've been there before.
It is brilliant.
I
My
went there.
dad.
Taking Good
Friday.
Friday's better. But, all right.
I went to the Good Friday at Milton Hall in 2023. It's not as good as it used to be.
I'll tell you what, James. The one memory I will always forever cherish. Do you remember when you took me back to Milton Hall after 12 years of not being there?
At Kev Waller.
And the
Oh no, Supreme.
no,
Supreme.
yeah, it was either Supreme or it was a Brisker meeting, and
It was
there was a
Supreme.
woman there that said, "Why has it took you so long to come back?" I said, "Well, I had no way of getting in, did I?"
Well, my first one was semi-final last year.
My first
My
Milton
first
Hall
Milton Hall.
meeting was the second running of the Milton Hall versus Trackstar head-to-head, which was on the same night as the Skegness F1 World Final in 2018.
Oh, that was a boring World Final.
Yeah, I went to Milton Hall on that night. That was
Yeah,
my
I'd-
first. That was
Obviously, I
the
would have gone Geg if I had the choice.
that was
but
the
yeah,
first
it was
meeting I
very
ever
fun.
did at a track that wasn't Kings Lynn.
Oh, fair enough.
And keep in mind, I've been going racing on a regular basis since 2011.
2005, but all right, okay, keep going.
Was at F2 World Final myself. Atmosphere was amazing. I whiff. I can't speak. I wish I went to that, but obviously as a Ginchard fan, I would have been heartbroken.
As a Gordon and Ginchard fan, heartbroken.
I'll tell you one thing I'm definitely getting at the start of this year, Ginchard merch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
get me one.
I might do the same. My favourite meeting was Stanlake Trigger Memorial. Fair enough. I mean, I haven't really seen anything from Stanlake. It was Supreme meeting, yeah. It's a shame not everyone made it to the Goldie meeting. I think there was meant to be like 200 old cars booked, but it was still more of a quality than quantity meeting. Skegness, one thing they are very good at is quality over quantity. Like, they can get 30 cars at a meeting and it'll still be amazing.
Yeah, that's one thing I can agree on. Same with Trackstar. Like, it don't matter the meeting.
Yeah.
They like the quality of the action more than the
Speaking of
quantity of
Trackstar,
drivers.
is the next bit the best promotion?
Yes, it is. Good segue, right?
Oh, there we go. I'm
Yeah.
doing my job well.
Best promotion, lads. What are we saying? Chat, you're in this as well. What's your favourite promotion throughout 2024?
It's only
Trackstar
one. It's
racing
gotta be
is
one, yeah.
magic.
See,
I mean,
Oh.
Geg's World Final weekend though. That's probably the best day of a World Final ever.
See, I am so torn between Trackstar
Yeah,
and
it's
Skeg because
between
I am
Trackstar and Skeg.
I am a Trackstar fanboy through and through, right?
You're Trackstar and proud.
Yeah, I am. I have always been
I'm lucky
Trackstar
I don't
and
have a
proud.
personal favourite. I just go wherever.
But there's two.
Unfortunately for Riley, he's a Speedworth boy because he's got to go to blooming Northampton. Speedworth.
He's a Speedworth fanboy.
Speedworth doesn't come close to Trackstar and Skeg in my opinion, but
No, it doesn't.
I love how
No, it doesn't.
Speedworth wasn't even brought up in the first place. It was Skeg and Trackstar.
yeah,
Because
but
it's not. I mean, I like him, but it's not. It's not
right,
close.
I am so torn between Skeg and Trackstar because I'm a Trackstar fan through and through, but there's two events that just they interlink these two promotions.
As a stock
Obvious-
car fan, I'm saying Skeg.
Obviously, with
As a proper
Trackstar,
F1 fan, I'm saying Skeg.
obviously, I have a whole thing with this. So, but I was going to pick Skegness for promotion of the year. Then Paul Butler, like, is no longer with us, and Trackstar held that Nutcracker meeting. It was really emotional. It was really hard to do. And Trackstar did an incredible job at bouncing back, even without the leader, their main man. They put on one hell of a good meeting, the best Nutcracker meeting I've ever seen. But then again, Skegness's F1 World Final was insane.
Viva
One of the
Skeg
best
Vegas, baby.
one of the best meetings I've ever been to.
Just
I
remember,
am
James.
so torn.
Just remember, James. Look at what's coming into 2025. Trackstar Racing are hosting.
Oh, Trackstar's winning best
World
promotion
Final.
next year, easy.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
But this
Next
is
year, Trackstar
yeah, but
easy best
Josh, that
promotion.
has nothing to do with what we're doing now. This is the best promotion of
No.
this year.
I'm going Skeg.
I'm going Trackstar.
I'm a Tarmac fanboy, so I'm going Skeg.
Shale shifting is just the way to go, man. So much fun.
Mm,
James is like, father or mother? I don't know which one to choose.
right.
Just be careful. He might start doing
I am
Imagine
a,
out of nowhere,
right,
Buxton.
shut up for a minute. Shut up for a minute. Right. I am a Trackstar fan through and through. I love Trackstar with all my heart. I work with Trackstar. I make adverts for them. I've got family that work for
It's gonna be
Trackstar.
a bar.
I've been to over 300 meetings at Kings Lynn. I love the place to death. I love the promotion. I love everyone that runs it. But
Yeah,
if
we go.
if we are talking about the racing we've seen this year, the progress of like the rebuild of the pretty much the rebuild and construction of the stadium, everything they've done, the event organisation, the F1 World Final, it has to be Skegness. I'm sorry, Trackstar. I'm sorry, guys that watch this. Skegness takes it for me this year in terms of best promotion.
Yeah, I'm going Skeg.
Nah.
Mm.
Skeg's even on a chili bowl car in a couple of weeks.
That
so-
hurts
yeah.
having to say that, but
Now,
It-
next year,
yeah.
Trackstar.
next year's
You say it now, Trackstar.
next year's gonna be Trackstar easy, without question.
You can say it now. Like
Yeah, I can
2025
say
best
it
promotion,
now.
Trackstar.
20 plus championships, 4 world finals. Mate, it's just
Slam dunk best promotion.
It's just going to be an epic year next year.
in terms
That is
of
one
in terms of
everyone.
looking after the drivers and just existing in general, Trackstar trumps everything. But in terms of this year, with what they've done, Skegness takes it.
Oh my God, James! Just to
What?
quickly change the subject. I'm just looking through Facebook now.
Yeah.
Jimbo Race Photos has updated a load of micro teams, and your dad is on the front row, and he's took a photo of it.
Ah, yeah, I saw him take the photo on the grid before they started.
Brilliant.
Get that on the wall.
Just say Bangers, Trackstar, Stockcast, Skegness. I mean, I could, but I
Yeah,
like
it's
to
true.
I like to do things in general. Like, yeah, that is true. That is what I'd say. But in general, after everything Skegness has done this year, I'd say they just about trump Trackstar by a nose hair. But yeah.
Is that all for
No,
the
we've
the
got 2 more.
podcast?
We've got 2 more.
2 more.
So we got
2 more? Jeez.
improved drivers. So any driver you can think
No.
of across any promotion, you can pick multiple if you want. Who do you think has improved the most over the course of this year?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from.
I'm gonna try and put bias to your side here.
Yeah.
Most improved.
Chat, you're also
Oh,
in this
it's
as well.
nice
You can tag along for this. Who do you think is the most improved driver? And if you're a driver yourself, don't say yourself. That doesn't count.
2 litre saloons, Levi List.
Yeah?
That's
I saw
without
that.
bias to.
Ah, so we can do it by each formula. Sweet.
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
2 litre saloons, I'm going Levi. That's without bias to.
We'll let
Even though I do
Riley.
support him,
We'll let
but-
Riley go first on all the formulas, the main formulas.
Yeah.
F2s. I was going to go Greg McKenzie, but he kind of, I don't want to be mean, but he kind of fell off towards the end of the year.
Hmm.
You know what? Oh, Sid Madwick. He
I
got to
never
red.
thought
fair.
I'd hear you say that.
I
That's
like Sid.
fair.
He got to red, won a final, holding off Ricardo Schmidt.
Yeah.
I'll say Sid Maverick, most improved F2, most improved F1. Oh, this is tough because there's
There's
been
only
quite a few.
there's one option. Well, actually, there's not one option. There's probably a few for me that in the F1s that I choose.
Most improved. I wouldn't say Ant's improved because he's just a quality driver all around. So he's not.
Yeah.
He hasn't improved because he's just as good as he was before. Callum Thornton's up there. He's rapid. Can I throw Polly into the mix because he as the year got on, he got
I was
better.
about to say it's his first proper full year.
Yeah,
in a
it's first
British
proper one.
F1.
I'm going to say Callum Thornton
Mm-hmm.
for F1s and bangers. I don't know anyone, so I've got those.
Josh?
Right. So if we're going by formula, then I'd say for the national bangers, I'd have to say obviously Jimmy Craig, the world champion, due to the fact that one, it's his first ever win. Two, winning your first ever win and a world final, don't get much better than that.
I'm actually going to change my Tulip Saloon one. It's somehow it escaped my mind. It's got to be Archie Brown.
Saloons, I'd go with actually, to be fair, I don't really know who has improved that
It's
much
got
in
to be
Saloon.
Archie, no? Surely.
I mean, Archie, I
I
never
was thinking Levi, but then when you think about the year as a whole and the championship,
I was about to
Archie
say,
wins.
not trying to be horrible, right? But I didn't really know of it. I saw odd pictures of his cars, but I didn't know much about him until you guys obviously told me a bit about him. But to then win the English and win the world final
And the British.
and the British, it don't get much better. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna go with Archie Brown. Brisker F1s. I don't want to be biased,
Very
but
tough F1s.
there's a good few drivers in F1s, I'd like to say. But Polly, with his full first year in Briskers, and he's done really well, competing in most of the championships that he could compete in. He got offered the chance to go to the world final, but didn't because it was tarmac. However, he competed in the shootout though, and he done extremely well. I think he finished fourth, didn't he?
Tom, yeah, fourth.
Yeah. So
Tom, Frank, Lee, Polly, I think.
I'm gonna say Polly for the Brisker F1s. However, also Brisker F2s. Now, obviously, you guys, I have my own opinion, but I haven't seen much of him race, but I have heard he finally got his first ever win. Well, not really a win. He got the best white top award. I'm gonna go with Ben Cole. Hopefully, more trophies like that to come with for Ben. 1300 stock cars.
I didn't even say
Um,
1300.
no, that's the thing. You ain't thinking about the whole picture. So
I don't even know enough 1300s.
1300s.
I'm going to be biased. Kurt, it has to be Kurt.
I mean, their war, it's not really it's improved the sport and it's improved the spectators like wanting to come and
That's
watch.
the only one I'm biased on. It's got to be Kurt.
But actually, I'm going to say Jack Mail because he was like a white/yellow top and now he's gone up to red top again. So he's clearly doing something right.
Right, send that clip to him. He'll love that.
What other formulas are there? I mean, there's so many to choose from.
Did you do bangers?
Yeah, I've done national bangers. 1600 bangers.
Is he going to go through every banger?
Oh, please
I
don't.
wouldn't, no. Well, 1600 like and below, I'd say right, Lexi Finney because
Oh, that's a shout.
of her performance. She's come out of juniors, gone into an unlimited old school meeting, driving her dad's 2 litre, no, not 2 litre, his Mark II Granada, right, around. She threw it around like literally she made it dance. Goes to Skeg again in her third meeting and wins a championship in a fresh car. I mean, it's just it shocks everybody. That's what it is. It just shocks everybody. So I'm gonna go with Lexi Finney on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to think of other formulas as well.
I mean, if that's I don't really want to do hot rods because I don't know enough about them.
Ballard.
National hot rods.
I'm going to say National Hot Rods for me. I haven't seen much of them this year, but I have seen how they performed at Hennisford this year. And Billy Wood's car, with a new car, won the best in Britain. Car was on rails. I'm going to go with Billy Wood on that one.
It's improved.
He went from winning basically nothing
Oh, fair enough.
to a completely brand new car.
I would say
was
Ballard.
winning. Yeah, Ballard's a good chat as well, but at the end of the day, not being horrible to Ballard, but he hasn't. He's up there with the top drivers, but he needs to win something.
He
That's
got
what it is. He
stiffed
needs
in one
luck.
final.
Yeah, he needs that bit, just that little bit of luck. That's all he needs.
Right, I think it's my go now. So,
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
your go now.
for
Good luck.
bangers, I'm going to go Ty Williams.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%. I agree
absolutely.
on that one.
47th to a win in the World of Shale, 48th to a third in the World Final.
Very good shout.
In the Saloons, I'm going to go Archie Brown. Easy.
Archie's going to be happy if he watches this back.
Oh yeah, Archie's going to love us. Much love,
Free
Archie.
most improved drivers award. Yeah.
But an honourable mention in
Keep that gold.
an honourable mention in the Saloons as well to Timmy Barnes. He's been amazing this year.
Oh yeah, he's been solid.
I
I mean, Sanctuary finally winning the title.
Oh, yeah,
but
Sanctuary.
would you say he's
Sanctuary.
improved?
I Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Would you say he's improved though?
No, he was a superstar.
I'd
He was
say-
good.
I'd
He was
say-
good before.
I'd say Timmy Barnes has improved though because he's been trying out tarmac. He's a shale racer.
Yeah, true.
But right, F1s. I'm gonna go right. This is gonna sound silly, right? But I know,
Oh
but
no,
just because of the season he's had, Tom Harris.
improved.
Yeah, he has improved.
Improved?
He has improved.
Have you seen the next award? He can't win back to back, surely. I mean, he has in real life, but
yeah, but you got to think
Okay.
he has improved.
yeah, sure. I mean, from
if-
start to season with
I
pretty
mean,
much
if
nothing. So yeah,
I mean, if I don't pick Tom, I'm gonna have to go for probably Antwater
Can we
Eels.
just have an option where we don't pick Harris?
Oh,
Like, is that an
God.
option?
no, the next award, it's obvious who's won
Yeah,
it. So
yeah. But if I'm not picking Tom for this one, I'm gonna pick Antwater Eels because he started off blue top earlier this year and he has improved massively, I think, in terms of pace.
Yeah, good shout.
All right. For F2s, I'm gonna go. Greg McKenzie.
Yeah, that's a very good shout.
Either him or Charlie Tomlin. Actually, no,
I
wait.
forgot about
Scratch
Tomlin.
that. I'm gonna go Tomlin.
Yeah, I forgot about Tomlin.
Yeah.
Greg's been robbed of 2 awards. Sorry, Greg.
Sorry, Greg. All
Any
right,
others, James?
1300s. Tyler Bloomfield, easy.
Okay.
Literally started off as a white top. I don't think he's ever raced a 1300 before going into this year. Went up to red within like a month, and he was in the championship battle until he missed a bunch of meetings at the end of the year.
Each their own.
Yeah. National Hot Rods. I'm gonna go with who drives the 174 car.
174. That's Jason Q.
Yep, I'm going to go with him because he won 3 races in one night at Ipswich back in November.
That is a.
Fair enough.
To be fair, winning 3 races back to back in National Hot Rods is a tough challenge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've seen anybody do it in the whole time I've been watching that.
He was
Rods anyway.
flying at Ipswich. Nobody could catch him.
Any other formulas, James, or is that
I
probably?
think.
Does that leave us with 1 more award?
Yeah, one more award. Well, I say award.
Do I have to say who's won it?
How should we do this? Should we go with one driver across the whole season in any formula, or do you want to make a few?
It's up to you. I can do any if you want.
Let's do like top 3 standout drivers.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Everyone's
Don't
saying
matter.
Ty Williams and Kieran Bowman for bangers, Archie or Alfie in saloons, Daisy Reynolds for junior bangers. We're not doing junior bangers because I don't really film.
Bad. Juniors haven't. not to be horrible, but junior bangers haven't really stood out this year. The only thing that probably stood out for them, which one meeting I went to, but James didn't, was the pre-95s for the juniors. Some of the material they turned up with, spot on.
Yeah.
But the action, I think they need to maybe lean a bit on the action, because if you've got classic cars, they're going to want to put on a show.
Yeah. Right. Standout drivers. Who's going first?
We'll go with Riley again.
This is
I'll
a-
go
Josh, you're
Riley.
first.
This is
It's
across
obvious, Josh, you
every
go first.
single formula that you can think of. People in chat,
So
you can pick this too.
top three, if I'm going first then, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, it's across all.
So top three for me.
I swear, if you're biased here, man.
So top three, I'd have to say, do we have to rank them or just top three in general?
Rank them.
Yeah,
Make it
rank,
harder.
Rank. He
So-
doesn't know.
No, in third, I'm going to have to go with James Licorice for the entertainment that he's put on this year at Trackstar,
Good choice.
Fair enough.
and also his performance in the World Final. I think that's the only World Final I've seen him in.
That's the only
From as
world
long as
final he's ever been in.
There you go then.
Apart from the 2-litre world final, obviously.
I'm going to go with, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm going to go with Dave Polly as number 2.
Oh, there's the biased. Okay.
And then for number 1 for his
That's so good.
entertainment this year in the world final race, I know it was heartbreaking for him, but he did redeem himself. I'm going to go with Charlie Ginchard as number 1.
Fair.
At least your winner's good.
Yeah. Riley?
Because standout doesn't, as Josh pretty much got out across his top, standout doesn't mean who's been the best. So third, I'm gonna go for Levi List.
Yep.
This is
Boo,
without biased, by the way. I'm not being biased.
you liar.
Second, just because I haven't seen a lot. Obviously, I don't know my bangers, but the one name I keep hearing is Bowman.
Yep.
So Bowman.
Yep.
And there's only one person who could be the most standout
Exactly.
driver. It's,
Exactly.
it's
Don't you
Tom
dare.
Harris.
You're gonna be biased. You biased.
It's Tom Harris. Mate, he's won the most finals in a season he's ever won before. Won the silver, won the British, won the gold, won his semi-final.
Hang on. Hasn't he made it the 100 finals yet?
No, I think he needs 2 more next year to make 100.
He
I'm
can
what?
he can do it at Lynn and Northampton. Is it Northampton?
Imagine
the
if
second one?
fire pressure went down just that little bit. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah. I mean, what was he won, like 42 races or something like that?
Crazy.
Shut up.
Is the most, if it's like Verstappen 2023-esque. It's just complete dominant. So I'm going to say Tom.
Yeah, okay. Right. Number 3, I'm going to go with...
I can't wait to hear what names he comes out with.
I'm waiting for this.
Brad Bartram, because he's been dominant in the Trackstar points this season.
Very good choice.
Yep.
Did he win the UK Championship?
He
No, he didn't.
He lost by a nose hair. One of the closest finishes I've ever seen in the UK Championship.
He won it. He got it by a nostril.
Yeah. Second place. Levi List. And
Ooh.
number
Josh Pipe
one.
Up.
Number one. Speaking of Josh Pipe Up, Tom Harris.
Can we add a battle into the standouts because Tebenham's crew versus
Oh yeah.
Smiths
That
is
can be
probably
an-
the best battle of 2024.
That can be an honourable mention.
That
Yeah,
for me
the best battle of 2024 is that one.
was 5. That for me. That's kept the 1300 stock car like seen alive for me. That sort of battling. Obviously, it's not nice seeing them injure one another because that's not what we go to watch. We go to see them have a crash and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we know the risks that they take in order to put on a show.
I'm not going to speak about it anymore because otherwise my bias deal will come out and I don't
Yeah,
want that.
let's not start fights.
I wasn't even
I know, I
trying
know.
to start.
Now, me and Josh agree on this scenario, but I agree a little bit more because of
Mm.
something else. So yeah.
But yeah,
All I'm saying is we don't go racing to see people get injured. We just go there
Yeah,
to
true.
go there, enjoy it.
that just about covers all the main topics. Is there anything else we really need to go over? Is there anything anybody else wants to say?
I mean,
Like,
is there any?
2025 is going to be the best ever. That's
Oh
all,
yeah,
that's
it
all we
will
need
be.
to say.
I was
Really.
about to say 2025 is going to be a big year because if you don't mind, James, me
Mm.
mentioning it, there is obviously other things that will be happening in 2025. Like obviously we've got NASCAR, the Daytona 500 coming back to us again. All of the hopefully most of
Just
the
motorsport year in general, 2025
Yeah,
is sick.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about
Speaking of,
motorsport, are we talking
yeah,
about?
on stock car drivers in general, you got Tom doing Chili Bowl, Wout Hoffman's doing Chili Bowl, and Tulsa Shootout, which begins tomorrow. Got Tom, Frank, I'm going to guess going back, Charlie Sauder, probably the Tesla's going back to New Zealand. The team's racing in February. I think Gilbank's in New Zealand. Tom going back at one point and doing more non-winged sprints. So even off season, some of our drivers are still doing what they do best.
I mean, also if we talk about racing as well in general, James, are we going on gaming as well? Is that
let's
like
try not
really
to because SORUK isn't a gaming channel. This is just a racing
that's
channel.
fair enough then.
But yeah,
who knows? We could be doing a podcast in February saying Team GB have won the team's championship.
Oh, that would be good.
Sick. So yeah, guys.
Hopefully.
Over this off season, whilst we haven't got much going on, Riley's going to keep pumping out a bunch of different content because, as you've been seeing, there's a bunch of different stuff we've been uploading, like certain drivers, like all their wins throughout the year, like more driver spotlights. I've got a bunch of driver spotlights to make. I've got some edits to make as well. We've got a ton of content coming out, and in the next few days or so, whenever we can, we're going to make another podcast going over all the fixtures and planning what meetings we're going to go to in 2025, because 2025 is absolutely stacked. There are tons of meetings coming up, and we will be trying to cover all of them as best as we possibly can. We'll try and get Riley to a few more meetings here and there. We got all the big events. We got all the big events at Kings Lynn next year. Milton Hall returns, and it's going to be one hell of a meeting. We've got Skegness meetings throughout the year as well. I'll try and do some more Skegs. Obviously, UK
Got a few
Speed
more
Weekend.
friends going out there as well, James.
A few more friends. We've got a few more road trips planned. I'm going to try and keep it relatively local in terms of what tracks I go to, like Lynn, Milton Hall, Skeg, Yarmouth, etc. There's probably not going to be all that many massive road trips, but we do want to try and do as many meetings as we can, pump out as much content as we can for all you guys to enjoy, because we know you love it, and the channel is very close to 3,000 subscribers as well. So yeah, if you have any family or friends that are interested in racing or just want to watch some videos at all, send them here. Please send them here, because it will help us a ton, and we have got so much good stuff coming up over this off
James,
season.
if you want to get the screen back out quick, sorry. I'm gonna try in the off season put all the podcasts we make on Spotify, so we're gonna try eventually put them on there as well.
Yep, we will try and get the podcast on Spotify. We've got more podcasts coming up over the winter and throughout the season as well. Most of the podcasts will be before all the major events like the World Finals and stuff like that, the Kev Wallers, etc. So plenty of content to come. We do things very different here, so yeah, we've got tons of stuff coming up.
James.
What?
James, not just content. Haven't you got a bit of news to share with SORUK?
About...
I've got a camera now. Let's go.
Well, not
Riley's
only
got a
Riley
camera.
getting himself a new camera, but a new little toy that you've got.
Oh yeah.
That you got
So
period.
it's
I forgot that.
It won't be for quite some time where I use it, but I am now capable of making merchandise because I now have a heat press. So, if anybody wants any SORUK merchandise, message me on Messenger, James Montgomery on Messenger or Facebook, and I will see what I can do for you. It will be a bit of time before I can do that though, because I have to build the machine and get everything working and learn how to do it and not be a complete marnus at it, but that is something I want to try and do for next year, try and sell a bit of merchandise, although it won't be anything crazy for a little while, to select people that message me on Messenger or message me elsewhere. Or you can message Riley and forward the message to me, for instance. Just let us know if you want any merchandise. I will see what I can do for you. Message me what size you want and or what bit of clothing you want, because I want to be able to make like caps, beanies, shirts, hoodies, stuff like that, even mugs if I can. But yeah, we got a lot planned for 2025, and I hope you guys are ready for it. There is a ton of content coming your way, and we will keep doing as everything we possibly can to entertain you guys. Keep coming out with podcasts and just changing the channel a little bit, because Riley's been doing bits for the channel as well, giving us new overlays, new thumbnails, etc. He's been doing a fantastic job at it, and we've got a ton of people behind us as well that are willing to help out. So it's going to be a big year, 2025. Tons of meetings in the pipeline. The next podcast will be within the next few days, I imagine, or whenever we get any more fixture list news. But yeah, we'll cover the Kings Lynn fixtures as well, because Kings Lynn will be the main track for SORUK. Riley will try and do all the Northampton F1 meetings again, and we'll see who else can do what. But overall, 2024, fantastic season, a massive year of growth for us. We've become a bit more professional this season, I think, and we've tried some different things out, and yeah, we're trying, but
Yeah, we're getting it.
yeah, but it wouldn't be without you guys, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you very much for all the support over the last couple years that we've been doing this. There's no sign of stopping. We're only going to keep getting bigger and bigger and pumping more videos out. So be ready for an absolutely stonking 2025 season. Thank you all very much for watching the stream and the podcast. We hope you enjoyed. I know it's been a bit long, but hopefully the Kingsland fixture list broadcast will be a bit shorter. But from all of us here at Short Oval Racing UK, it is goodbye.